40. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Happy Tuesday. First of all, for those of you keeping score at home, let me set the lineup for you. Drapes is here today. He's just not here yet. Apparently there was some kind of traffic snarl up, so he'll be with us shortly, any moment now. And Jay is still on vacation, so we have Anthony today keeping us on the air. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony, who, as you know, is the real star of the Saturday morning True Sports Card show. So we're glad to have you with us today.
Too kind.
Yeah. Thank you for keeping us on track today. So as we await Kyle Draper, we also, by the way, are going to talk to Jason Jones today about the NBA draft lottery and how it's been so difficult for the Kings. So let's talk about the lottery, because there's been so much conversation since the lottery happened yesterday about how this thing is rigged. The thing about that is anytime any of us, you, me, Anthony, Kyle, Ledbetter in the back there, if you go into anything, in this case the lottery, but if you go into anything thinking, I think this thing might be rigged, you're going to find something that'll lead you to believe it's rigged. Now, I don't know, and I'm not sticking up for the league here. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't work for the NBA, but I do think it's interesting that people say, wow, Dallas didn't have much of a chance of winning the lottery, and they won, so it's rigged. Then you have to add on, it's rigged because of the other thing with Luka. So we're talking about a really elaborate conspiracy here. I know it doesn't look good. Frankly, I have a hard time believing it's rigged. But the other thing is, okay, on the one hand, a team that didn't have much of a chance of winning the lottery, they won. So it's got to be rigged, right? Then on the other hand, you had, I know LeBron was on with McAfee, and even LeBron was kind of hinting that he thought it was rigged, but he was talking about how, I'm from Ohio. When I was in the lottery, Cleveland got me. Well, Cleveland had the highest percentage. They had the best chance of getting him, and they did. They won the lottery. So it seems to me like it's not really very useful to have it both ways. When the team that has the best chance of winning wins it, and when a team that has the least chance or one of the least chances wins, they win it. Can we say both times, oh, it's rigged? I know a lot of it for us here in Sacramento is just the frustration over the fact that it is so hard for the Kings to get any kind of traction, get anything useful out of the lottery whatsoever. But the other thing is, beyond that, when the Kings have had picks, they just have not done a very good job of converting them, as we know all too well. So is the whole thing rigged? I have a hard time believing that it is. Who is it? Ernst & Young, I believe, is the accounting firm. So they would have to be in on it. And why? I mean, the bottom line, I guess, would be money. Well, everyone's making so much money that that's why it's rigged. And everyone is in on it because they're getting paid money. I know it feels good to say it's rigged. This thing's obviously rigged. Look at this. Look at Anthony Davis going to the Pelicans. And LeBron, even LeBron said he thought it was suspicious when he went to the Cavs. And Derrick Rose went to the Bulls. And look what happened yesterday. It's very easy to say that, but I just don't think it is. And I just don't think the league could get away with it. Maybe I'm too naive, Kyle Draper. Drape's getting situated here. Maybe I'm too naive, but I just think we're talking about such an elaborate conspiracy here, stretching over years, stretching over 40 years now. I just don't think that the powers that be in the NBA are smart enough to pull it off. How are you?
I'm out of breath, so give me a sec.
Yeah, take your time.
I was thinking about this earlier here, Whitey.
Everybody's thinking about it.
But is it just a social media thing? Is it just a narrative? Like, do people really, like, if they were laying on their deathbed, would they say, yeah, it's rigged? Or would they be like, I was just engagement farming? I don't think people really think it was. It looks suspicious.
It sure does. No question.
Like you said, there's no way. And our boy Vincent Goodwill, friend of the show, he had an interesting tweet about this. He said basically what people are saying, if you're calling it rigged, you're saying Ernst & Young or whatever the company is.
Right.
They're actually in on the bit too.
Right.
And it's like, come on. it's and Rachel Nichols or maybe even Jamel Hill, one of them said,
I think it was Rachel.
Yeah, it might have been Rachel who said, they had a 1.8% chance of winning it. That's like somebody hitting the lottery, having a 1 in 1 billion, but somebody actually hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody had to win.
Right.
And we see it all the time, whether it's the lottery and talking about, nationally the lottery or the NBA lottery. These things happen. And so I don't think it was a conspiracy. And if it was, wouldn't the other team say, hold up now, they would have an issue with it.
They get angry when somebody is guilty of tampering with one of their players.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
They get upset when the call doesn't go their way,
yeah,
let alone
a
franchise-altering player goes number one.
But, part of it, and I don't want to wander down this path too far because this is a dark path that leads us to nowhere.
Yeah.
But everybody now, everything's a conspiracy. Some of the things people are coming up with now is like, what? And some people really believe.
You know what? So I'm watching this documentary right now. It's on the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about how things changed in our country right around the Vietnam War when our elected officials hid things from us, started to lie, and now people became skeptical.
And you had Watergate.
And now, and so that's when it really took off. And now, we saw it with COVID. We see it now in politics. It's in sports, like the tried and true thing is to second guess everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe even right now, with myself on social media, I'll see something and the first thing I say is, I can't believe that. I gotta, and so that's just the nature of our society right now. But how about this? Somebody pointed out hockey does the lottery also. I never hear anybody in hockey say, oh, that's rigged. San Jose last year got the number 1 pick. That got to be rigged. Like, how come it doesn't happen in other sports?
I don't know. I guess because it's so impactful in the NBA that one guy.
Right.
I guess. But, it's good to be skeptical. It's healthy, especially in this day and age.
Right.
But some people take it too far. And it's not hard to find people who honestly think the world is flat. And you see these people on social media and I always think, nah, they don't. Oh, that guy really.
They actually really
they
do
really think that. So
and maybe it's always been that way, or it's been that way for 50 years or however long, but they didn't have a platform.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a way to amplify it and go viral with it. And so
now they got megaphones everywhere.
Now they got megaphones everywhere. Yes.
Speaking of, Amadrock says, can I get a shout out for my father-in-law, Lee, who turns 95 years young today? What do you think, Draves? Can we shout out Lee?
Shout out Lee, my guy, 95.
Mm-hmm.
Clap it up. That's an accomplishment right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
And shout out to Amadrock.
Loyal listener.
Shouting out his father-in-law.
Yeah. Father-in-law at that. Not even his father.
That's right.
Father-in-law.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a good dude. That's a good dude right there. Amadrock, friend of show.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this. You asked me a second ago, and we'll get to this, I know, fully. How I'm doing. I'm not doing well right now. I was good, actually. Went to a great restaurant called Sammy's. I don't know if you've ever been to Sammy's on Del Paso. Had a yummy breakfast. I'm going to post about it coming up here on IG in a minute.
Perfect day going so far then.
Exactly. Yeah. It was great. Went home, got the haircut, got the fresh cut. I'm feeling good. Picked up an acai bowl.
Oh, very good. Good at antioxidants.
Exactly. So I'll eat that during the break.
Makes your tongue pink, but
that's all right. Nobody, exactly. But then
purple.
There's an accident that holds me up. And then I get the news about my guy, Jason Tatum. So when you say how I'm doing, not good right now. I'm heartbroken for Tatum. And I know we'll talk about that.
You knew that was coming though, right?
Yeah, but to actually hear it, and the timing of it, because that means to me he's out all of next season. If I'm the Celtics, I'm keeping him out all of next season, this upcoming season. I'm talking about. Let him fully get healthy. Don't rush him back. I don't want to see him come January or maybe after the All-Star break, but I'm not banking on Jason Tatum next season.
Yeah, everybody's different. We were just talking about this on the crossover, but I remember, Drapes, I was at the Kings game, was it 2016 or 17 when Rudy Gay ruptured his Achilles. It was a January game against Indiana. I don't think you were here then.
No, I wasn't here.
He was, so that was January.
Yeah.
he was working out again in the summer. Opening night of the next season, he played for the Spurs.
I heard you say that, but I don't know if he was ever the same.
Yeah, and he was also older, which you would think would make it harder to come back. So I don't know, and like everybody's different.
Yeah,
but that just changed my whole way of looking at it. So yeah, it's devastating. But as far as Tatum next year, I don't know.
7 months was Rudy Gay? 6-7 months,
something
or
like
9
that.
months.
Yeah.
So if it's Tatum, you're talking this May. You're talking January, February.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Could be.
It's just I hate to see a young star like that go down. Talking about Tatum, man, it's just it's heartbreaking. That he is one of my guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Drapes guy. He's might even be the president of the Drapes guy category. But yeah, man, it sucks to see that for Tatum.
And who votes on that? You said president. You're the only one who votes.
No,
right?
I'm the only one that votes. I'm the entire board. I'm the board of director.
Mm-hmm.
Just one.
Mm-hmm.
I vote on that.
Yeah. So thank you for lining up Jason Jones today at 2:30, right?
Yeah. Do we really want Bonte? I know you and I are going back and forth on text.
I love talking to Bonte, but it's totally up to you because you have that thing with him.
Yeah, and he's still relevant right now. That's what I was alluding to in the text. Whitey's like, do we want to wait until the series is over? I'm like, when they get eliminated, they won't be relevant anymore. He won't be relevant. So now he got one last chance to talk to him. Whatever you want. So yeah, let's try to get Bonte on in the 4 o'clock hour.
All right. Yeah. So we got that more coming up. And when we come back, how about the Celtics now? Is this era of Celtics basketball, is it over? Or is that a little premature? Next, Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water, but you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Here's the thing, though, Drapes, about the NBA and the perception that the lottery is rigged. Did you see? You probably saw LeBron when he was on McAfee. When you have LeBron talking about it like, I get it, and maybe he's half joking, but when LeBron's doing it, the league at some point has to go, all right, we gotta address this. And maybe that's why, they reached out to people like Rachel Nichols. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's not good when LeBron is saying, hey, I get it. I understand what we're doing here. Because how in the world are people supposed to, right-thinking people like you and I, supposed to tell people, oh, it's not rigged, when LeBron is suggesting that it is?
Well, we have to remember, too, LeBron's a human. And I'm sure there are some players who in the NBA who saw Dallas get it and said, you know what? It's rigged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got former Sacramento Kings players that think the 2002 series against the Lakers was rigged.
Well, they're right.
Right.
That, we know.
So I think, it's an issue for the NBA, right? It's an issue. So. And even if it's not rigged, just the perception that we're even having this conversation is an issue for the NBA.
It is funny. I know you pointed this out yesterday. Before we found out who was picking where, we picked the teams that would look the most rigged. And the 3 teams that we picked were up at the top. We said, Dallas, Philly, San Antonio. Right. It would look rigged if one of them was up there.
I know, and it played out that way. And here's the thing. If you're the NBA, if you are rigging it, don't you got to make it a little more, disguise it a little bit more better than that?
Better at it.
Oh, seriously. Like if us Joe Schmoes here, can call it. So I don't know.
Yeah. As far as the conspiracies go, the whole thing about the Kings and the Lakers in 2002. I mean, I saw that. Was something going on? I don't know. I don't have a hard time believing that something was. Other conspiracies. Here's the thing, though. This one with the frozen envelope.
Oh yeah,
something going on there.
Patrick Ewing.
I don't know. I mean, when you look at it, you say, "Wow, there might be something there." But the thing about the Luka trade, that the NBA engineered that and then said, "You do that, and then we'll give you Cooper flags." Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, they're not thinking like that. And the messed up part about it now, Whitey, is, on social media, somebody actually posted that and said, "I'll leave this right here," and had the full. Did you see that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are looking for that. They're
right.
Going, oh, there it is.
There it is.
I knew it.
And it's like,
who are you?
Who are you? Right. It could be just anybody putting something out there, and it gets aggregated, liked, retweeted, and then it becomes
They posted something that looked like it was from a post or a paper or something, so that gave it a little more credibility, but you don't know where it came from. Or
I'll say this from the NBA's perspective: Dallas winning it, and not only just Dallas, the last 7 years since the sort of flattening out the lottery odds, the team with the worst record has not won, and that was by design. That's why you flatten it out if you're Adam Silver, because you're trying to, stop tanking, but it hasn't achieved that result. He put that in to stop tanking, slow down tanking. Now you got more teams trying to tank.
Yeah, because the best chance you can get is a 14% chance. 3 teams get that same chance.
Yeah.
But since that's the best chance you can get, teams still go, oh, yeah, we want some of that.
Now you got 6 teams vying for that. Right. Yeah, exactly. It's, and we'll have Jason Jones coming up at the bottom of the hour. I want to hear what he thinks about this as well.
You read his piece today.
I need to read it. I saw it. It's pretty good.
It's no fun for Kings fans.
Really?
They've been through it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's basically a history of how the Kings have just not been able to get the lottery right.
Right. I saw, that they've, fallen 11 times, moved up only 3. And it's pretty bad. So we'll have him on, but I do believe something has to be done for the draft lottery, because I don't want to reward tanking teams either. Like, if Utah is going to punt on the entire season, I don't want to just say, all right, Utah, here you go. You're rewarded for that.
But the whole idea of the draft is to help the bad teams.
Right.
So that's where you get kind of.
But the bad teams messed it up by actually
being too bad.
Too bad. Like intentionally on purpose being bad. It's one if you're just bad by luck. But to say, you know what, we are going to be bad on purpose just to get the number 1 pick, I can see why the NBA would have an issue with that.
Well, what do you think of the Celtics now? Just jumping over to the Celtics. I know they're not even finished yet. The series is not over. But is this the end already of this Tatum Brown era of Celtics basketball?
Nah, I'm not saying that. I think it's the end of the Al Horford, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis version. If I'm the Celtics, are you moving off of Jaylen Brown now? I mean, it's a possibility. I just don't think that would be a smart move for them. Injuries happen. I get it. Like, this isn't a reset time if you're Boston. All right, we're going to tank now, tear it down, just have tank. No, I think this iteration of the Celtics, and I was talking to Nick, my son, about this morning. If I'm the Celtics, I'm trading Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Those are the 2 trade chips. And I'm starting Peyton Pritchard, and then I'm bringing in some other people. Is this the final iteration of Tatum Brown? I don't see that. And if it is, we're being robbed of what could have been one of the best 1-2 combinations of this generation.
It makes me a little uneasy how many star players are getting hurt. And I know it's the NBA and it's a long season, but there's just too many. It happens every year now. You get in the playoffs and some big names are out and it impacts everything going forward. And it's just not as much fun. Like watching last night, and all the credit to Minnesota. Minnesota, I think, was going to beat the Warriors anyway.
Right.
But without Steph, it's like, kind of know what's
that Warriors team was awful.
Yeah.
If Jimmy Butler's not being playoff Jimmy, they are so bad. And but I wonder, Whitey, were there injuries back in the day when we were coming up? Like, why? Or is it more now, do you think, to the star player? I remember Isaiah being hurt. I remember Magic being hurt. I remember other star players being hurt coming up.
Yeah, that's true. There's no way around it. The season is longer, and you've got some soft tissue injuries happening now. And to me, that's a clear sign. My mom used to work at a hospital, and I've stayed at a hospital. I'm not a doctor, but the soft tissue injuries are a sign to me. I saw some study somewhere. That's when you know that players are worn out, and it's a certain number of games in a short period. And
are you talking the playoffs? Maybe longer now.
Yeah, because guys used to be done by now. They used to have the finals in May.
Yeah, and what was the first round? Used to be best of 3 way back.
Yeah,
and now every series is a best of 7.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's something they should look at.
And I know that it's the same for everybody, and it's fair. I'm not saying it's not fair. I'm just saying, again, they're perhaps damaging the product in ways they don't need to.
Right, but it's cha-ching. Look at the money being made in these networks, talking about ESPN, TNT, Amazon, NBC going forward. They're paying a pretty price for potentially 7 games in the first round, and so I agree 100% with you. Maybe, these guys are being overworked. Maybe there's not enough practice time to condition your body.
Maybe,
it
just stinks now. No Tatum, watching the Warriors, watching Cleveland tonight with no Mitchell.
Yeah.
And maybe it's unavoidable. Maybe that's just the way it is.
Well, we saw last year too. The Celtics marched through the East.
Yeah,
and they beat on teams that it kind of robs the game of some excitement. That's for sure.
We have this from Jeff M. Jimmy flat out didn't show up last night. Looked like he didn't even care. I think he was sick, Jeff.
Is that what they were saying? He was sick too?
He was not feeling well.
Damn, he had the back, and now he's sick.
He's got the glued, and then he was a little under the weather. How much? Okay. How bad did he feel? I don't know.
I don't think he's checked out or anything. I just, watching him, it just looked like he didn't have it last night. The energy to even attempt to be playoff Jimmy.
Yeah. Then you got, Pajemski can't buy a bucket with Kyle Draper's credit card. You got Moses Moody. I like Moses Moody. Like, what happened to him? Remember when Quentin Post was coming in here against the Kings and
what happened to him?
I don't know.
Santos ain't even getting any run anymore. Like, where are these guys at? And so, it's Warriors are done. I felt, like the Minnesota Timberwolves were playing with them, toying with them a little bit. Then Ant's like, all right, enough. Let me turn it up. And then, he just went on that run. What was it, 17-0 or 17-2?
That 3 he made at the very end of the first half was almost like,
yeah.
And the Warriors were still ahead at the time, but it was like, he was kind of serving notice.
Well, if you're the Warriors, and we'll get Bonte on coming up, if you're dependent on Draymond Green and Buddy Hield to carry you offensively.
Draymond now.
Right? That's like,
no. What are you doing? He should be assessed a flagrant for his jump shot.
Right.
Like, that is unnecessary and excessive when you miss the basket by that much.
It's amazing. Like, I was thinking Steph Curry should be MVP just based off of how the Warriors look without him.
Maybe
like that looks like a lottery team, a top 4 worst team in the league, the way they've been playing. And so it's about to be done. Really the only series that hasn't been impacted by the injuries is the one, OKC and Denver. That's living up. And Michael Porter Jr. is dealing with a little something. But for the most part, these are 2 heavyweights delivering on the hype, which is good to see.
Yeah, Denver's on the verge of playing 2 great series. I don't know. I don't expect them to win this series. They could, but that Clippers series was great. And this has been a crackerjack of a series.
Yes, it has. How about this? Campio says, get rid of the play-in and the first series best of 5.
Maybe, but then the play-in is another one of your anti-tanking measures.
Right.
Does it work? I think it might work better than the lottery as far as discouraging teams from tanking.
Yeah, because you got more teams, you know, that
with a shot.
Portland, down the stretch, Phoenix down the stretch. And so I think the play-in has worked. Maybe the best first round series should be best of 5. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. The thing is, Steve Kerr always says this, the season needs to be shorter, but it never will be.
Oh, never will be. Yeah. Never will be. 82 games is here. Too much money involved. If you go 60 games, 66, are you asking the players to take a pay cut? Owners, are you giving up, 8 home games a year?
TV networks are like, whoa.
Right,
you got to kick us back some.
Too much money involved.
Yeah. Jason Jones is going to join us from The Athletic with a look back at the Kings' unhappy lottery history next on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with a Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is this weekend with Bailey Zimmerman. Plus Billy Currington, Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Get tickets and more info at CITPfest.com.
The hot weather is coming. Is your HVAC system ready for it? Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating make sure it is. Get to Lee'sAirPlumbingandHeating.com. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up special. And let me tell you why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is the way to go. They took care of me when our heater collapsed over the winter, and Lee's set us up with a great new HVAC system that is providing comfort, value, and quality. Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating take care of you. License number 635355.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Water. It's more than just a word. It's morning routines, backyard memories, and everything in between. At Roseville Environmental Utilities, we're not just managing water, we're protecting it. Smart planning, conservation, innovation. We make every drop count for today and tomorrow. Let's keep the promise together. Find out how you can help at roseville.ca.us/water promise. Roseville Environmental Utilities. Water. It's not just a word. It's our promise.
Memorial Day savings explode at latest Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,500 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado Turbo Max in stock.
Exclusively at MadeUsChevy.com. Now that's big, huge. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
We don't know what the Kings are going to do this offseason. We do know there's a good chance, possibility that they'll be back in the lottery next year. Maybe not, but maybe they will be. My point is this. When the Kings are in the lottery, they always try to send, some kind of good luck charm.
Yeah.
And nothing against Keon and Alvin Gentry yesterday, but it's pretty apparent. The Kings don't have any good luck charms. Well, then you need to convince them to send you.
I'm going to have to talk to Vivek or somebody. I should have been up there on that podium there.
Because their lottery history is so And with more on that, nice enough to join us, former Kings beat writer for the Sac B, contributor to The Athletic. Always a pleased to have Jason Jones with us. How are you today, Jason?
I'm doing all right. It's a great baseball season for us LA natives. So, hey.
Oh, you got the A's tonight, so look out, mister. Here comes West Sacramento to town. He's laughing.
Dang, I thought that was like a legitimate question.
Best road record in baseball.
Exactly.
The West Sacramento A's.
Well, they play every game on the road. Technically, I mean, if you're from Oakland, they would say they're on the road all the time.
Yes, and I would be sympathetic to that. As far as the Kings go, we just talked about their lottery luck and read your piece today in The Athletic. The first draft lottery was 1985. The Kings moved to Sacramento in 85. It has not been a great match, has it, for the Kings? The Kings in Sacramento in the lottery.
No, and especially this last couple of decades. You go all the way back to 2009. They have the worst record, and they get the worst possible scenario. They get fourth, and they you get the rookie of the year, but some guy named Steph goes 3 picks later.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just had, they move up, De'Aaron was the good luck piece a few years ago. They move up the second, and then it looks like, you're either going to get, DeAndre Ayton or Luka, and then you get neither one of them. Not, we all know how that went. So it's just, and then yesterday, you figured they weren't going to move up to, they weren't going to move up and keep their pick, but. I mean, they have the team that came and beat you in the play-in. It already has Anthony Davis on the roster and Kyrie Irving get the number 1 pick. And then to see De'Aaron's new team get the 2nd pick while also having Wembanyama still and this year's Rookie of the Year and another. It's just like, man, this.
All right, Jason, we know all that. All right, big fella. Hey, we didn't bring you on here to be Debbie Downer, man. Us Kings fans, we understand what we're up against here.
I was feeling for Sacramento. I'm like, could it have gone any crazier for them?
You're right. You're right about that. With that being said, going forward, how would you approach this Kings roster? Is it tanking? Knowing our lottery history, knowing when we do have a top 4 or 5 pick, how we botched it in the past. If you're the Sacramento Kings, what's your best route going forward?
They're kind of in that weird spot where they're too good to like tank.
Yes.
They've got too much. They really can't. You can't have a team with Malik Monk and Sabonis, and even if you say you move on from DeRozan, but you have the Zach LaVine on your team, you can't. That's not a tank team. It may not. It may be about it may get you 8th, 9th, 10th in the conference, but it's not going to get you. It's not going to get you, in the bottom 5 of the league. That's too much. And I just don't think that them going that route even makes any sense. If you blow it up like that, you'd have to trade everybody of value. You'd have to trade Sabonis. You'd have to trade, move on from DeRozan, from LaVine. Maybe I guess then you keep Keegan, but that's just not going to work. They've got to probably try to figure out a way to mitigate, see, who they can, move amongst the veterans. And try to just retool some things, get maybe a team that maybe fits the way they want it to fit better on the court, and just try to move up. Because I don't think they're not bad enough. Like I said, they're like that purgatory.
Yep,
they're not bad. They're not bad enough to be the Charlotte Hornets, but they're not good enough to be Oklahoma City.
Right, stuck in the middle. Jason Jones from The Athletic with us. Jason, I know you probably hear from a lot of fans, or you just notice on social media that, it's rigged. The lottery is rigged. Even LeBron on McAfee was suggesting that maybe it's rigged. Do you think the NBA needs to do anything to just address that widespread perception that the lottery is rigged?
I mean, yesterday didn't help with those allegations.
I know. Yeah, I know.
It didn't help at all. But I've been in the room before. I've been in there before. So if they're rigging it, they're fooling a lot of us.
Yeah,
I've been in there. I was in there the year the Kings moved up to number 2.
Ah, maybe that's why.
Maybe
you were in on it,
right?
I've been in there. I've seen the price. I think that year. I think that you're crazy was that Phoenix came up like 2 or 3 times.
Oh wow!
It was something weird, like where Phoenix kept coming up because they had the worst. They just kept popping up. Their combination of lottery balls kept popping up. So I mean, and if it was rigged, how come, the Knicks never got the first pick? If it's rigged, how come the Lakers, when they were in the lottery the last few years, it ended up at 2 instead of 1? I mean, there's too many instances where if it was rigged, you would think that you would move certain teams into number 1. Like you would get Philly. Well, Philly was number 1 a bunch of times. They just messed up. Yeah. But I mean, but you would think that if it was rigged, Boston would have won the first pick a couple of times.
No, you're right, Jason. Do you think, however, that the league needs to fix the lottery? Because ever since flattening it out last 7 years, the team with the worst record has not gotten the number 1 overall pick. Does there need to be some sort of tweak to the lottery system?
I don't know, because I think even if you tweak it, teams that are going to tank are going to figure out how to tank. They thought the play-in would kind of get teams from tanking. Dallas didn't tank. Well, they didn't. The only reason why they didn't tank, honestly, is probably because Phoenix was worse than them. It's not like they went into the, So, I mean, I'm not going to give them this props of like, oh, yeah, they really wanted to be in the playoffs. They might have, but those reports of them not wanting Anthony Davis to come back, I don't doubt that they didn't want him to come back so they can have a better odds of moving up. So I just don't really know what you can do, because what do you do to incentivize the Charlotte Hornets? I mean, what do you do with Utah? And to me, I always say, maybe kind of my own basketball superstition is that I always believe the basketball gods generally will reward you. And I think when you go into a season with no intention of winning, I'm not sure you deserve Cooper Flag. I mean, if you just go into no one thought the Utah Jazz were going to try to win many games this year. No one. And so maybe it's kind of poetic they didn't get the first pick. That being said, you can still get there's no guarantees with these things. There's been years with the best player in the draft has been 5. I mean, or a really good player, I think I remember 2010 when the Kings were at 5th and everyone's going, oh man, we wanted to get up there for John Wall. Things failed. DeMarcus was there at 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes, if you're a bad team and you make bad decisions and you have a poorly run organization, it doesn't matter where you pick, you'll mess it up.
Jason Jones from The Athletic with us. I want to ask you, Drapes won't like this question, but of all the, as you're just saying there, of all the Kings lottery missteps, which one do you think was the most avoidable? To me, it was Jimmer. That was the one. I remember going to his workout and seeing how happy and smiley everybody was and looking at that and going, my goodness, they're actually going to pick him, which they did. But in your opinion, what was the one that they really, most egregious, where they really should have known better than to pick whoever it is?
I think it's between that one and Thomas Robinson. Because Damian Lillard was sitting there and wanted to be in Northern California. And then you look at the Jimmer one, they had so many different options there. They could have took Klay Thompson.
Yeah, Klay, right.
And I know I talked to his dad later on down the road, and Klay thought he was going to Sacramento. And they also could have took some guy named Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, I've heard of him.
And I remember talking to people from the Kings about that. I'm like, people know, they'll just throw it off, the reporters' heads. What do you think? And I said, you take Kawhi Leonard. And they were like, why? He can't shoot. I said, but he can do everything else. And I said, on top of that, I said, the way this team is built, you need a guy who doesn't need to shoot the ball 20 times. But they were enthralled with Jimmer, and I knew the first red flag I had with Jimmer was when I met him. You guys have met me. I'm about 6'1", 6'2", and I was clearly taller than Jimmer. And I was like, he's not. I said he's not 6'4". That was my. I'm like he's little. And then I went out to Utah for his All-Star game, and this is an All-Star game. He's getting his shot blocked there, and I'm saying, this might not work out. And then
really.
But I also think, too, if Jimmer would have been a 2020 pick in an era where all you want to do is shoot threes, he would have been fine. But the problem with Jimmer you had in Sacramento was they insisted on making him a point guard. He was not a point guard.
Yep.
He and also, along the same lines, Jimmer was also insisted on being a point guard.
Yeah.
And when the coaches told him, we'll play you off the ball, he's like, I'm a point guard. And that's why some guy named Isaiah Thomas got all those minutes.
Jason Jones.
Oh, the
memories.
memories.
I know.
Oh, the memories.
But real quick, though, because you brought up Thomas Robinson, and this revisionist history. I just looked up 2 or 3 mock drafts, and most of them had Thomas Robinson number 2, Jason Jones.
But then he started dropping.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. He's also one of those guys when I met at the combine, I said he's not 6'10". And, that was one of those, oh, my God, we can't believe he fell. But sometimes you got to look at why a guy fell. And, I know people had him ranked highly. I probably had him in a mock draft pretty high. But if you were going to take a big man, and I got this from one of their coaches, he said they told him, if you're going to take a big man, you take Andre Drummond. Dang. And they were at that point, the front office was afraid of hurting DeMarcus's feelings, which was crazy because DeMarcus wanted to be a power forward.
Right.
And then, the reason why they didn't draft Dame was because of Isaiah Thomas. And so, of course, and kind of the way bad luck happens for the Kings, you end up in a couple of years with neither one of those guys.
Well, it's been fun, hasn't it?
I know, right?
It's always
a ray of sunshine over here.
I said, I tell all my buddies, I said, I have nothing but love for everybody I know in Sacramento and the Kings organization. And said, man, I haven't wrote my piece today. Kings fans are as resilient as they come. Because this can't. 2 years ago, you would even I wouldn't have thought, oh yeah, they'll be kind of back in purgatory within 2 years, and De'Aaron won't be on the team.
Yeah, that was quick, even by King standards. That was a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
All right, Jason.
All right, man.
Enjoy those if you can.
Talk to you soon.
Don't be surprised if the green and gold give your team a little what for this next few days.
Well, let's worry about. I want to get to September. I want to get to September.
All right, Jason.
You got it.
All right,
Thank you. We always
man.
appreciate it. Take it easy.
Man.
Yeah. There you go. That's what he wrote today.
I'm sorry, Kings fans, for bringing Jason Jones on. You know what, Whitey? I didn't even see that piece when I booked him. I saw the other one that he wrote about Dallas with Paige Beckers and now Cooper Flagg and, moving on from Luka and everything. And so then I saw it, and I just read it and I'm like, oh, man. And he's a Lakers fan, too.
Big LA guy. Yeah.
But he knows the city, he knows the team, the organization. So it is what it is.
Tell you what, though, no matter what he said or no matter what happened in the lottery, that acai bowl looks very good.
I'm about to dig in, man.
Very good.
Yes, it's nice. It melted a little bit, too. It defrosted a little bit. So, yeah, I'm about to go to town on this.
And when we come back, NBC is bringing back MJ? For what? Next, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See full details and disclaimer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively the Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head, and the total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax tax relief. The best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the biggest selection, the best prices, and unbeatable customer service. Check them out online, sacsuperstore.com, for the guaranteed lowest price on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Open until 10 o'clock and right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. sacsuperstore.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With so many ways to warm up before golf, a group of university researchers tried to cut through the clutter. 24 low handicap players were split in 2 groups. The first group was instructed to hit 9 shots in a row with 4 different clubs that set targets. The second group also hit 36 shots, but in a random order. Maybe 1 shot with a driver, 1 with a 7-iron, another with a wedge, and so on. Then all the golfers from both groups hit 9 test shots that simulated the kind of shots they'd hit on the course. Results found that the group who practiced with randomized shots performed better than the first group. Well, that's one study, but it's probably important to note that rather than hit a bunch of shots with 3 clubs, you might be better off hitting different clubs to different distances. You'll have practice shots to different targets with different clubs, presumably just like you'll do on the golf course. Give it a try. What do you have to lose except a few shots on your scorecard? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
At SMUD, we power business with incentives, strategic account advisors, 50% lower rates, and clean energy solutions. We help businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
It's what you wait for all week. The 3-pointers, the rebounds, the thrill of every shot. Win or lose, it's the hope that keeps you coming back. The dream that this time, it might be your year. And so you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when the pressure's on, your support is everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
NBC is going all in on the nostalgia element when they bring back basketball next year, the NBA. And we haven't talked about this yet, but it was yesterday they announced that Michael Jordan is going to be part of their network team. He's going to be a special contributor, so he may be on set sometimes. It's not like he's going to be there every week, but I'm not sure how I feel about the Drapes, other than I feel like, are they trying to make me think it's 1992 still? But Michael Jordan, special contributor to the NBA on NBC and Peacock. You don't sound excited.
Nah, you know I'm not a Jordan guy. First of all, what leads us to believe that Jordan, who outside of his documentary, the 10-parter during COVID, will have anything interesting to say or will put himself out there to say anything that could be deemed controversial or clickbait worthy or anything like that? Second of all, Whitey, if I'm correct, the 90s, some view as one of the worst decades in NBA history. You had Jordan, but outside of that, the Knicks, Heat, slow it down, physical. David Stern had us move away from that. This romanticizing of everything of the 90s, it just ain't there for me. I don't know.
But Michael was. He was.
Forget Michael Jordan.
He was unlike any other ever.
But ever since he left the game, he hasn't done anything. Been a horrible owner. He got some sneakers that people like to rock. I get that. But what has Jordan given us in the last 30 years, 25 years since he hung it up?
I don't care.
Because I'm a shoe-in for Hater of the Year.
Oh, is that Anthony?
I got you, man.
But we will know soon enough from his first appearance, whenever it is, whatever it is. I think we'll know right away. Is he going to say something, or is he just going to kind of glide through it. Because he has things to say that are interesting if he cares to share them.
But
we saw that, like you said, in the last dance.
Yeah, if he cares to share. Why? And who knows? Maybe he's going scorched earth here.
Yeah.
Now that he's no longer owner of the Hornets and everything like that.
Ooh, just think when he trashes LeBron. Ooh, that'll be great.
Man, we do know Michael Jordan is petty, so he might say something to take a shot. I don't know. This does not make me want to tune in at all.
I'm more pro Jordan than you are, but at the same time, I'm with you on that. It's like, okay, why am I supposed to care?
Right. It's
you
like,
think I'm going to watch now because, oh, yeah, well, it's the Hornets are playing the Wizards. That's terrible. But Michael Jordan's going to be on as a special contributor. Let's watch.
The idolization of Michael Jordan is disgusting in this country, if you ask me.
Disgusting?
Disgusting. Because this dude has reached a mythical status where he could do no wrong. He'd have made every shot that he took game winner, done won every championship and everything like that. Like somebody said 5-10 years ago, chasing Jordan is chasing a ghost. And
he's pretty good.
No, but he was good at dribbling and playing basketball. He was not good at being an owner. He hasn't done anything in the past 25 years. Why should I care what Michael Jordan has said?
Because he's not going to talk about owning teams. He's going to talk about, I assume, playing basketball.
I don't know about that, Whitey. That's what we got to see, right?
Yeah.
What role are they going to have him in?
Yeah.
Is he going to be the Charles Barkley, Shaq Kenny type? Or is he just going to be, some nostalgic guy, roll out top 10 Michael Jordan moments of his career or something?
I think he's going to be a figurehead, and he's going to get a lot of money just to go there and say, hi, I'm Michael Jordan. They asked me to sit here tonight. I'm collecting a lot of money. And
is he going to be the Tom Brady of the NBA?
Ooh, Tom Brady wasn't that good. I hope not.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what does special contributor even mean?
I don't know.
That means we're going to cart you out once a month.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with Jordan per se, but I have an issue with the way NBA is trying to revive everything from their 90s coverage.
Right.
We got Round Ball Rock coming back. I don't care. I never really liked that song.
Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about, man. It's like
we're bringing back the starting lineups. We're bringing back.
I do
AI
like that.
I like that.
I like that part.
But the AI generated voice of the guy that would say, "Who's playing tonight?" I don't care. Good for him. Bless him.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. But do you think that's going to make me watch?
I'm with you on that. And I'm looking at Awful Announcing. They wrote an article today on new details about Michael Jordan. He says the Puck's John Oran provided some insight into Jordan's role as a special contributor. While details are still scarce, Oran suggests we should not expect Jordan to be a regular studio presence every week. He said it seems likely he'll appear in the studio as an analyst, joining the likes of Carmelo. That doesn't mean Jordan won't occasionally join a broadcast or step in for special events. See, but it doesn't appear. It's not a full-time gig. It's, what, and here's the thing. Jordan, get your money. I get it. But it's almost kind of, patronizing to the fans out here. Ooh, we're going to cart out Michael Jordan, to boost ratings and everything. Like, all right, Mike, we're done with you. Go back wherever you came from. I don't like that, man. But we'll see. If he's outspoken, if he starts telling some old stories, now that's where I think he can really, really be valuable.
Yes.
Just talking about some of the old days of trash talking Gary Payton, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Those are the things I want to hear from Mike.
Me too.
Not what he thinks about today's young players. We got enough current haters on NBA broadcasts now. We don't need another one.
Speaking of returning legends, well, he's not returning, but today the commissioner of Major League Baseball announcing that Pete Rose is Hall of Fame eligible. Baseball's lifted its ban on Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe, some others who were banned for life, and then they were banned after they were gone.
Yeah.
And commissioner said, all right, lifetime ban expires when you're no longer here. So Pete Rose is now eligible for the Hall of Fame. And we'll see what the voters do. I'm sure he'll be in there eventually. Does that do anything for you?
Nah, not really. The only thing I'll say to that is he should have been eligible. The way sports, Major League Baseball is in bed with betting right now, and the way society has changed over the years, they're probably, a little too late. I'm happy to see him, hopefully get in eventually. The next will be, what about the steroid users?
Mm-hmm.
Clemens and Bonds and all A-Rod and all those guys. Should they be getting? I'm of the belief, yes. So much, because what's going to wind up happening, Whitey, is 20, 30 years from now, people will be like, oh, everybody's doing it, or this is, things are more tolerable. Think about it like this. When Lance Armstrong was knocked for his steroid use, his PED use, it was it was the biggest story. Now it's like we almost kind of think these guys are on something. It wouldn't be surprising as much anymore.
There have to be a lot of guys already in the Hall of Fame who used, and we just don't know.
Right.
So when you look at it that way,
right.
I'm with you. They should be in. Pete Rose, it's to the point now where it's better for baseball if he's in. I understand why. If you were ever in clubhouses, then there were signs that literally. I remember being in Pete Rose's office at Candlestick Park, and there's a sign. Gambling is forbidden. And so he did that. So all right, he had to pay a price for that. But now the price has been paid. He's not even here anymore.
Right.
I think it's just better for fans and for the game if he's in.
Yeah, exactly. It's. I'm just looking at some of the text and YouTube chats and everything like that.
Jordan fans coming out.
I'll address you guys coming up in a minute. I'll address you guys.
I understand you're anti. I mean, I can understand. I'm not excited about him being on TV, but you're anti-Jordan. It's really interesting.
Because it's like it's
Michael freaking Jordan.
Every day that goes by, this dude, people act like he walked on water or something like that. Jordan had his faults, ladies and gentlemen. People idolize this guy, and I get it. He was a great basketball player. He was an icon of his era, but NBC bringing him back when he has not offered anything outside of The Last Dance, anything in terms of redeemable from what he said. Even as a player, he was not interesting to hear talk. Now I want to be interested in what he has to say 30 years after his playing career is over, 25 years. Come on now. I am not a Jordan guy.
I noticed that. I noticed that.
I do
Which,
like
of course,
sneakers,
makes
so I
me
like
more
some
of a
the
Jordan
sneakers.
guy. I was always kind of. But now, if you're going that way,
the truth comes out.
I have to balance.
So if I like one thing, you can't like it. You can't be, or if I don't like it, you're like, ooh, that's
it's kind of my role on the
it.
show.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a contrarian. You know how that is.
I see how it is.
Yeah. When we come back, the Cavs, the Celtics, are they really done? And can the Kings learn anything from any lessons from the teams that are still in the playoffs? Next with the Drive Guys, and the Michael Jordan debate continues too on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
It's Clean Car Month. Right now, get the Pro X1 Car Care Collection Wash Kit for just $19.99, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports injury update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Zach Geloff suffered a setback as he was pulled from his rehab assignment with AAA Las Vegas due to a stress reaction in his ribs that occurred while taking a swing. There is no timetable for his return. Ken Waldichuk, out with that left elbow sprain, threw all 30 of his pitches in a side session last week and will throw another session this week and is targeting a return during the All-Star break. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group.
Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury?
Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
Full details and disclaimers.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Look, we recognize we're here to talk about things that you want to know about. So here we've talked about the Kings. We'll talk more about them, the NBA playoffs and Jason Tatum and P. Rose and Michael Jordan. But what people really want to know about, Drapes, is, where's the question here? Drapes, did you take your daughter for ice cream for that 100 science test score? That's from Dividing Zeros.
Ah, that's the big question.
Question of the day.
That's what everybody is listening to for. Let me say this. No, I did not.
What?
I did not take my daughter and son out for ice cream last night.
What'd you take them out for?
I didn't take them out. We had ice cream at home, I told them. So we already had some in the freezer.
All right.
And so I'm like, why spend the money when we already got some?
Yeah.
And I was tired, flew back from Philly yesterday. I said, just had an ice cream in the freezer.
Did you at least do sprinkles or anything?
Oh, bro. What? What?
100 on a science test?
What?
Go have a scoop of butterbrickle, honey.
Butterbrickle. Come on.
I think I got some rum raisin.
Well, here's
Go get
the thing. So I pick up the kids yesterday. My daughter Quinn gets in the car. Dad, what about ice cream? I'm like, we got ice cream at home. She's like, but let's go to Crumble Cookie instead. And my answer to that, Whitey, I said, you either have the ice cream at home or you have nothing at all. Like, you just think I'm just going to roll over it. Whatever you want, honey. Yes, sir. No, I put my foot down sometimes, Whitey.
Yeah.
Like, I don't just give these kids everything. Sometimes I say no.
But a 100 on a science.
Come on now. Do it again. That's what I told her. Do it. All right. Show me again. Maybe on the second one.
Did you get to see the paper? Do you know how hard the quiz was?
No, I didn't even. I didn't get to see it. I think it might have been an online one or something like that. But
Dividing Zero says, so dad hates MJ and serves freezer burned vanilla for 100 science test scores. Man.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's
pretty much it, DZ. You got it.
These kids lucky they got ice cream yesterday because my kids are spoiled, Whitey. You know this. Come on, big fella. You know this.
I've had the occasion. I hung out with Nick at store. Very rarely have been around your daughter. I've seen your daughter a few times.
Yeah.
I don't really know him that well. I wouldn't say that. How would I know?
I will say this.
Other than the whole
Taylor Swift concert
thing in Vancouver.
I took my daughter to Taylor Swift in Vancouver, Canada. If I don't give her ice cream the rest of her life, I'm still up because that was the trip of a lifetime. Now, see, my problem, Whitey, and I told you guys this, I might have told you this the other day. Now, instead of going to see Taylor Swift in Vancouver, she wants to go to Dubai for summer vacation.
Yeah.
It's like I set the bar too.
Didn't somebody tell you when you went in on that Vancouver Taylor Swift trip?
You're like,
well, you're opening the door here. You might not want to open.
I'm like, all right, so where should we go? I'm thinking, let's go to San Jose or something like Santana Row or something like that. She's like, blurts out, can we go to Dubai? I'm like, what?
Why does she want to go to Dubai?
That's what these kids see, man, out there now. On shows and social media and everything. It's like, she says it looks tropical. I'm like, what? So does Pacifica too, right? So
I don't know if she's going to get 100 on her geography test.
Right, that's true. I know, right? I don't know where she got it from, man. But they had ice cream at home.
Well,
but
good.
I did not go out and buy, because here's the thing, Whitey. You go out, that's $20 for me and them two. That's $20.
You know, it's a great, like, let's get ice cream. I don't want to go out and spend too much. I've done this a few times, and I get nothing out of this. So this is no endorsement. But you can do worse, and I'm just going to go get a couple Sundays at McDonald's. I've done that.
I used to love
It's
the
not
McDonald's
bad.
ice
It's
cream.
nice. It's quick. It's not expensive. Or the McFlurry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I might
so
try
just
that.
an option.
Right. I might try that.
You obviously, you did the right thing. You drew the line there. But sometimes it's like, it's a nice compromise between, let's go out to Farrell's or whatever.
Right. It's, I tell you, and every day, Dad, can you bring me Chick-fil-A for lunch? Can you bring me Chipotle for lunch? No, like you got to say no to these kids nowadays, man.
Sacktown says Drapes buys the thrifty ice cream and calls it
Sacktown's on fire today. Shout out to him on the YouTube chat. Oh, Sacktown.
Didn't even go to Thrifty's and get a cone. Can't be
My kids eat really well. Like, they eat very well.
They do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Anyway,
here's the thing.
People were just interested in that.
When they gonna buy me something? When is Dad going to get the hookup? When's Dad going to get the
Father's
hookup?
Day? They should be backing the truck up.
What's an acceptable Father's Day gift from a 15-year-old and 13-year-old? Like the days of a picture frame, a tie, some socks,
Bluetooth speaker.
I got 1,000 of those. Right, those things.
I know.
The company station gives them out here.
I know.
For Christmas.
I know it's a sore subject. That's why I mentioned it.
I don't know, but they need to come correct. Because this last year, no, dude, Taylor Swift. They've been to Mexico. They've been to Hawaii. Like, Dad needs something big, kids. Hopefully some of their friends are listening. I need something big.
Plane ticket to Dubai.
Right.
Weekend in Dubai.
Real quick here. I turned 50 back in April 10th, if y'all want to write it down. I turned 50 this past April. And the kids wanted to actually do something big. But the X86,
you told us about
yes.
that. And I can't remember what it was.
They wanted to take me to Vegas to WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was too expensive. I'm like, so I can drop X amount of dollars to go see Taylor Swift in Vancouver, but y'all can't reciprocate and hook Dad up with some WrestleMania tickets. It's not fair, man. It's not fair.
Yeah.
All I do is give.
Sounds like that's an issue for you.
It really is. I got therapy tomorrow at 10. Talk about that. I'll bring that up.
Then you got a staff meeting at 12.
I might be sick tomorrow. I might be sick. Is that one of those ones where you could call in and listen on speakerphone?
Maybe, I don't know. It's not that. My purvey.
I have to ask Jose
Might
about
be.
that one. All right.
Might be.
Check in with him. All right, what else we talking?
I just wanted to see what you thought here. The Cavs and the Celtics. Are they really done? Are they finished? Donovan Mitchell says, he's going to play in Game 5. We found out today Jason Tatum's having the Achilles. He already had the surgery. Repair the torn Achilles. So are those series over? Are they done?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And here's why. Let's start with the Cavs series. Donovan Mitchell, banged up. He's not healthy, dealing with the ankle. Indiana's playing at a very high level. I think that one's over. Then Celtics without Tatum, JB's not healthy. Porzingis isn't healthy. And so it's just too much. The Knicks are rolling right now. I just don't see how the Celtics win this without Jason Tatum. Like, Jaylen Brown has not been good unless JB turns into Eastern Conference Finals MVP, NBA Finals MVP. Too. But he's hurt also.
Yeah.
And so I just think both those teams are limping, and it's pretty much over.
The Knicks are just, you can see it. They're just playing with more force and grit in the series.
Whitey, we were watching this game here. We had it on. I had the box score up, and the Celtics were hitting three after three.
I think
after
you said 9
three.
in the first
quarter.
Yeah.
They had 9 threes in the first quarter. They had, for the game, 18, and they still lost. Like, they went cold in the second half, shot 37.5%. But it's like, if they're not hitting threes, it's a wrap.
At their worst, they turn into a jump shooting team.
Right. And so I think they're done. The Knicks, Brunson is better than I expect. Like, give him credit. He is at 39 last night, 14 to 25. I just think the Celtics are done, man. Without Tatum, they're done. Unless my boy Derek White is going, put on the Superman costume and carry them. I don't see it.
I could see them maybe finding a way to at least get it to 7 because they are so talented, even without Tatum. You could see how this guy does a little more. It's tough because Brown is hurt. But the Cavs, I'm having a hard time seeing. I'm not buying Donovan Mitchell's ready to go. I saw how compromised he was in the last game. So, to me, that's the team.
Do you think even if Mitchell was healthy, that the matchup is not good for the Cavs and that the Indiana Pacers have their number?
Yeah, they played them really tough during the regular season.
Yeah.
Even though the Cavs won way more games when they went head-to-head. It was clear to see, that was a tough team for the Cavs.
Right.
By the way, and I got to go back to this because dividing zeros is
he's on fire, huh?
Yes.
He's in his bag, as they say.
I think she should give you some Baskin-Robbins gift certificates for Father's Day so the next test score is covered. It gets better. It comes in hot. It's like, that's great. And the next one's like, wow, that's even better.
And I would not be surprised dividing zeros if they do that because I'm actually not a huge wrestling fan. They were going to buy WrestleMania tickets so I could take them. So they had ulterior motive. They wanted to go to WrestleMania.
Really?
So I would not be surprised to see them buy me a gift card to an ice cream shop just so I could use it on them. Yep.
Okay. We'll come back with more on that. Also, this whole issue of the lottery being rigged, the Mavs CEO had something to say about all that, and he probably should have said something else. Next on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Jill Schlesinger. May is Military Appreciation Month, and I know how much I appreciate the military. I married into a military family. I hear from so many members of the military, and Navy Federal Credit Union wants us to celebrate those who go above and beyond for us every day. If you're active duty, a veteran, or part of a military family, you're eligible to join. At Navy Federal Credit Union, the members are the mission. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
I know it looks bad many times with the NBA draft lottery. I think Drapes and I, we had Jason Jones on. I think we all agree. As bad as it looks sometimes, the draft lottery is not rigged. When you really think about it, it would be very difficult to do that. But there is that perception, and the league, I think, has to deal with that. So somebody asked Rick Welts, who is the Mavericks CEO, about that. He'd heard about all this,
being rigged and all that.
Yeah. And so, they traded Luka, and now they win the lottery. So this is what he told Ben Gulliver of the Washington Post. addressing the speculation that the lottery is rigged. Quote, I'm the only person who was in this room and the room 40 years ago. I've been doing conspiracy theory stories ever since. End quote. That's probably not what he should have said.
Right. That's what is that, dude? He said from day one I've been doing conspiracy.
Yeah. Going back to the Patrick Ewing
right.
lottery. Yeah.
That's why. Oh man. Yeah, that's not a good quote right there. That's not a good quote.
But that's the NBA's problem. They just can't get it out of their own way on this.
Unbelievable. Wow. Yeah. I mean, and there's no way to like the NBA, even as you pulled up Rick Welts, they put out the video of the actual drawing.
Yeah.
And you still can't, overcome the allegations of tanking or cheating. I mean, rigging the lottery.
Yeah. I mean, that would be illegal, right?
Yeah.
If you did
100%. Yeah. And the other teams.
That's it.
Right.
I hadn't thought of that. That's
like, it's like, come on.
Ironclad comment. Because it's all about money. All of it is about the money. And teams, they're all in the NBA, but they're not. Oh, great. Luka's going to Lakers now. We all win.
Right.
Super.
Cooper Flag gets to go to Dallas now. It all worked out. No, they're pissed off.
Right.
So let me ask you this, though, because I do want to change the subject. And I know we've been talking a lot of personal stuff, ice cream, Father's Day gifts, things like that. Whitey, sit this one out, because I may need the YouTube chatters and people to call in and really help me out with this dilemma I'm having on social media right now. I don't have a huge social media presence. I'm not out there tweeting every day, but occasionally I'll tweet something. My boy Trevor Adams said, today marks the beginning of year number 3 sober for me. I had gone 9 months before a 3-month relapse before that. Seeing your pinned tweet, to me, he said, is something that helped push me back on track. Keep that bad boy prominent. It helps a bunch of us. So I quote tweeted him. I said, my guy, Trevor, you just made my day. Congrats. Going on your 3rd year. You got this. Always here if you need encouragement. So I'm out there like that, trying to help somebody out in the community, somebody that follows me. Keep doing your thing. And we started talking about Jordan here, and people think I'm hating on Jordan. So this guy under that tweet says, dude, you have to be one of the biggest haters I've ever seen. You need to get some counseling on that. So I got this positive, uplifting tweet, and this hater comes in. So I go and I say, you know what? Who is this guy? Let me see who this guy is. So I click on his bio, because you always got to see, is there a picture, a name, a face? And I notice, Whitey, don't chime in just yet. I notice this guy is following 510 people. He has 7 followers. Clearly, he just, hated on Drapes. Guess who one of the followers is, Whitey?
Who's that?
You.
Okay.
How you following this guy?
Who is he?
Rio, sports nerd.
He probably follows me and I followed him back.
Dude, you're going to have to block him now. He's taking shots at your co-host. You're going to have to block him now, Whitey. I'm asking you as a friend, a colleague, a co-worker. This dude needs to be blocked. I might
unfollow him. I don't know if I'm going to block him.
Let me see here. Who else follows this guy? Well, you're the only one that I know that actually follows him.
I think I know Trevor, too.
Oh, dear?
I think Trevor's been a listener for a long time, if I'm not mistaken, for a long time.
But you see how I could feel hurt by that. I'm like, this guy's coming at me for my Jordan take, calling me a hater, saying I need counseling. And I'm like, well, who is this? Who's following him? Kevin Whitey Gleason.
How many followers did you
7.
say?
And you're one of them.
Yeah, an exclusive club.
Dude, you gotta vet who you follow a little bit better. I'm just saying, I don't know who this guy is, but you're one of 7. I'm looking at.
He's a Kings fan, right? Because a lot of times, is there something there about Kings?
Let me see.
If a Kings fan is following me, quite often I will follow back.
Let me see. Hold on.
Because it's like
it doesn't say it. It doesn't.
Oh,
it does.
Would you say sports nerd?
Yeah, sports. Sports nerd with U's, a few U's in there.
All right.
And he has 7 follows.
I think he's a good follow.
No, dude, you have to be one of the biggest haters I've ever seen. You need to get some counseling on that. Like, well, who the heck are you, Rio? And then I see my co-host is following him, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
come on now.
I didn't know that he was coming after.
Come on. That's what I'm saying. Now you do. You got a choice to make here, big fella. Whose side are you on?
Maybe I'll just mute him.
Okay. And then afterwards, unmute after the show. All right. Sorry. I just had that. I'm like,
I can follow up on that.
Yeah, please. Oh, my boy Trevor Adams responded. You need a hug, boo? ? That has nothing to do with this thread, talking to Rio.
Oh,
so, yeah. All right. Trevor got my back, even if my co-host doesn't. So what are we talking
I didn't know anything about it.
I find it hilarious, though, that he has 7 followers. And you're one of them. That's crazy, man. All
If
right.
he's not careful, he's going to have 6.
I know, right?
Well, why don't you join me? Climb aboard.
I am not going to follow that.
Follow number 8.
You know what I'm going to do? The good old-fashioned block button. I'm like Dikembe Mutombo in his prime. 3, 2, 1. Bam! Blocked.
Yeah.
So, all right.
What I forgot what I was going to ask. I don't know. What was it that he was mad about? The Jordan stuff?
The Jordan take. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's upset that I'm not a Jordan guy and everything. And I do wear sneakers. I like Jordan. And Amadrock had a good point regarding Michael Jordan. He said, can we separate the brand from the person? He said, Jordan the pitch man, Jordan the brand, amazing. Jordan the man, the person, is just a guy.
I don't know what he is. I don't pretend to know what any of those guys are like as people. I just know he was I'll never forget this about Michael Jordan. And I wasn't a Bulls fan. I always rooted against him because, I root for the underdog. And then when they were done, it was sad that was over, but I didn't root for him. But I went to there's this Chinese restaurant. It's not there anymore, unfortunately. And so this was around sometime around 95, 96, something like that. And the Bulls are playing the Knicks in, I think, the Eastern Conference Finals. We call in the order, and I go to pick up the order. And there's this woman there. It's a Chinese restaurant, and she didn't seem like she spoke English very well. But as I'm getting ready for the order, she's like, turns on the TV, and she's, working. I think she might have been the only one there. She had to turn on the TV and sit down, and she was glued to the game because it was Michael Jordan. And it always made an impression on me. It's like, this guy, his appeal is that big, whether it should be or not, whether he's worthy of that or not. But I mean, my goodness, he had a massive global appeal.
He did. And I think it's because, he did things that we had never seen done before on a basketball court. And I wonder, can another athlete or person reach that global appeal like that? Do you think as big as LeBron is, he's not Jordan. Like he's not, Michael Jackson back in that era rivaled him.
Right.
Can we get that in today's society?
I don't know. The more I look at that, and people like Taylor Swift and before that, the Beatles and Elvis and people in sports and Shohei to a degree, but it's not just they have to be great. They have to be here at the right time for it, where consumers are just, that's what they want. And then someone gives them all that and more. So some of it is just the timing and the luck of it.
Right.
It's not just anybody being that good.
Right. And not timing, luck, and you got to be sustained, have the sustained success. And nowadays, people come and go so quickly. Cycles are so quick. And so, no, you're right about Jordan. I'm not going to hate on Jordan, man, in terms of his popularity, his global brand, his global appeal. I mean, that dude, wherever he went, it was a rock star out there. And I get it. NBC is trying to capitalize, bring that back. But in 2025, going into 25-26 season, I'm like, I don't need it. I'm okay.
Right.
I've moved on.
It was great, but we're done with that.
Right. And that's how I feel about it. Yes. So it's not a Jordan hate. I'm not hating on Jordan. It's just, it's like, bringing back who's a baseball player, Barry Bonds throwing. I don't know. It's we've moved on. We've evolved, and the game's exciting. I don't need Michael Jordan. Notorious. Now he's a hater too, Whitey.
Oh yeah.
The way we saw it in The Last Dance. I don't know if I need to see that, man.
Do you remember? This is the saddest thing about Michael Jordan to me. He came back, plays with the Wizards. That didn't go as well as it could have, and then apparently the Wizards kind of used him, because he was there for 2 years and they were more relevant. And then when he was done, he wanted to either become the coach or he wanted an extension or something, and they were done with him. And I remember this scene of his whatever it was, his Jag or whatever it was, that he drove away, and it was the saddest thing. And him driving away from the Wizards' offices after they said, "Yeah, we're done.
We're done
with you.
Yeah, right.
Michael
We're
Jordan.
done with you.
Wow.
Exactly.
The Wizards done with Michael Jordan.
They haven't recovered since. But yeah, it's almost, and you hate to see your heroes, the stars, go out that way. Joe Montana and the Chiefs, Emmitt Smith and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's like, and so when they talk about romanticizing Jordan, they're not talking about Wizards Jordan.
Right.
It's that Chicago Bulls Jordan, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. I'm fired up today, man.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on.
I gotta clean up my timeline here, social media. See if I got.
You follow everybody, huh?
A lot of people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's Kings fans, sometimes I'll see, and then like, they follow me. I don't follow them. I was like, okay, I'll follow.
Okay.
What the heck?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I need to revisit.
You do need to cleanse your
strategy.
timeline. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see here. We're going to come right back with a look at the Celtics era. Is it already over? Got to look at the NFL schedule release too, which is coming up. Are the 49ers still in the league? That and more next. Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use. Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metal woods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is this weekend with Bailey Zimmerman. Plus Billy Currington, Nate Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Get tickets and more info at CITPFest.com.
At Big O Tires, now through Memorial Day, get $80 to $120 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, or Sumitomo brand tires with installation purchase. Disposal fees extra, not good with other offers. See your locally owned Big O Tires store for pricing.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this? Half off tune-up right now. It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
You know, the big story of the day that we haven't even talked about is Bill Belichick's girlfriend's probably not going on Dancing with the Stars. What do you think of that, Trape? She's
Really?
going to
She
go on
not?
some other show, apparently.
Darn.
What do you think?
Wanted to
That's
see
big.
her. Yeah.
Big story.
That's a story I don't care about.
Belichick
right
has
there.
addressed personal life with players, according to ESPN. Yeah.
This one.
Talk about I don't care.
That's something I really don't care about. Like, I don't understand why this is such a big deal.
Well, I mean, I do.
Yeah.
And it's the whole thing's like it's an old man. It was this pretty young woman. Ooh, what's going on?
That
Ooh, and
happens
it's a famous
all
person.
the time.
Sure.
That happens all the time. Like, do your thing, man. If he's okay with it, she's okay with it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, go for it.
Absolutely. How about this?
What you got?
Allen Estate says Trailblazers officially for sale. You gonna buy the
Ooh.
Trailblazers?
I would. I think they're on the way up. They got some nice young pieces. What they got? A number 8 overall pick, I think it is, coming up. Wish I had the money. And did you see Paul Allen of the estate is going to donate it all to philanthropic efforts too?
That's awesome.
That's pretty sweet, right? That's massive.
Also, Mavs won't trade the number 1 pick. According
What?
to sources, they're eyeing Cooper Flag.
Hey,
Jay Williams on ESPN today was, they got to trade him.
You never know with Nico. You never know. Nico, like a thief in the night, to make a move. No, there's no way, right? There's no way. Are they a threat this upcoming season, knowing that Kyrie is out at least the first half of the season?
Yes.
Do you think they're
yes
still a top 7, 8 team? Something
Sure,
like that?
I would think
they're
so.
in the mix,
Yeah.
if you will. Okay.
And again, it's like he has been with the Lakers the last few years. So how healthy is AD? But you know,
Right.
yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, that was a real slap in the face yesterday. I know we all know that, but I just sitting there and figuring, the Kings aren't going to move up. That's okay. But then you get that whack in the back of the head. Wait, the Spurs and the Mavs, I just didn't see it coming.
What's even worse about it, we understand the Mavs, but the Spurs, the team that got your star player for what some consider pennies on the dollar. Now, De'Aaron Fox goes from Sacramento to playing with Wemby and a number 2 overall pick and Stephon Castle. It just, I see why it hurts, Kings fans. It could have been anybody else, any other team.
Yeah.
You know, Portland could have got it. I would have been okay. But San Antonio.
Let the Wizards have something.
have it. Go for it.
Yeah.
You guys got that, you know? But De'Aaron Fox now, they might have the team of the next 10 years when it's all said and done. Wemby gets healthy, you know, and a couple of years under their belts. Like, they're going to be a force. And we just had Jason Jones on, and you guys made a good point. It turns so quickly here in Sacramento. Like, usually things, fall apart slowly. Guys age, you try to hang on a little bit. We went from a spike to pew.
Usually there's like a 5-year run in there.
Right, a run.
Yeah.
We didn't even get a 5-year. We got a 1-season run from that group. It's
true. It's true.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
Do you think there's any lessons for the Kings and the teams that are in the playoffs now? That is, as you're building your roster, can you look at any of these teams? You'd probably look at the small market teams, right? Because that is more likely to apply to you. So you'd look at Indiana, OKC, because the Kings are at a crossroads here. Do we stay with what we're doing and still try to make a run at the bottom of the playoff picture, or maybe the play-in next year? Do we lean into some, retooling? What lessons are there, if any, from the teams that are in the playoffs?
I think the lesson that I see based on these results this year is just play the games. Do your best. We've seen tanking actually has not worked this year specifically. Dallas didn't tank.
Mm-hmm.
You could argue San Antonio didn't tank.
They kind of did the second half of the year, but
Wemby got hurt. Once Wemby got hurt,
Uh-huh.
then that changed everything.
Yeah.
But, Dallas, they were playing they beat you, and they still got rewarded. And so, and the teams that did outright tank from the jump, pretty much, the Utahs of the world, who was sixth? Washington of the world.
Right.
They
Even
did not
the
get rewarded.
Pelicans.
Even the Pelicans. And so it's almost like you're playing with the basketball gods. You're tempting the fate of the basketball gods. You know what? We're not going to reward you for intentionally being bad.
So are you saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, to all the people around here specifically, they're saying, oh, you got to tank, you got to tank, you got to tank. Are you saying not so fast? It doesn't always work.
I'm saying there's ways to tank. Flat out. See, so what Utah did, I had a problem with, Whitey. They didn't trade off all their pieces. They didn't trade anybody, really. They held guys out.
And they got fined.
Guys that were actually healthy, good enough to play. They didn't. I can't allow that if I'm Sacramento. If you want to tank, do it the right way. Trade your guys. But I don't think that's the best way necessarily.
That's an insult to your customers, really.
It really is. Like, I'm listening to the morning show with Jason Ross earlier.
Jason Ross show.
Yeah, Jason Ross show.
Company.
Yeah. And I'm hearing the other co-host on there say, Kings fans overwhelmingly want this franchise to tank. I don't know if I buy that, Whitey. Maybe the vocal people on social media here on the YouTube chat, but I don't know about the 17,000 that pay their hard-earned money every night to come watch the team. I don't know about the season ticket holders. And if you are one, please call in 916-339-1140. Let me know. But I don't know if the people that support this team with their hard-earned money day in and day out with season tickets, concessions, parking, all that, actually want this team to bottom out.
And I forget the name of the other guy on the show. It's Jason and Danny, I think.
Danny.
Whatever. Was
Antelope Dan.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Was it based? I know he's done some polls. Was he say overwhelmingly? Is that,
he didn't
based on polls he's had?
It was probably a Twitter poll.
Yeah,
he did not reference it in that context today because that was before.
Mm-hmm.
But as we know, social media really is not an accurate depiction of reality. And so I could argue most of the people in that building, 17,000, aren't on Twitter. And if they are on Twitter, aren't even seeing his poll.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't believe, and I could be wrong, Kings fans. You guys can call up 916-339-1140.
Or just hit us up on the text line or in the chat.
And let me know.
Yeah.
Do you believe the overwhelming majority of Kings fans really want us to tank?
And we're not trying to argue one way or the other. We're not trying to talk you out of it necessarily. But to your point, it's interesting. Is that accurate?
Right.
You overwhelmingly feel that way. We're just
right.
checking the pulse on this.
Yeah.
I'm with you. My guess would be, and I'm sure Antelope Marty or whatever,
Dan or something like that. Yeah.
I'm sure it's based on something, but I would like to see his numbers.
Right.
I wonder about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not scientific. It's not like he went out there and got 100,000 Kings fans that said it's probably like 1,000 votes or something like that. Now that's the overwhelming majority. No, there's way more Kings fans out there.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. So Carmichael Dave says overwhelmingly Kings fans want to tank. We're just checking. Is that true? You feel that way? How about Mark here on Sacktown Sports? Hey, Mark, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's up, man?
I mean, I think I would probably be in that tank mode, but I guess my definition, I think, I don't know, I can't talk for all Kings fans, but, what is tank? Like, to me, it's about either you go for a championship or you rebuild for the future. Like, I don't think there's fans out there that want us. It's like, like if you got mediocre talent, and talent that isn't getting there, like, we just don't want to fight for a play-in. I mean, that just, to me, is just craziness. Like, either you go for a championship or you rebuild. You want young assets, try to trade some of these chips that haven't got to a championship into future assets, so you can build like OKC. I don't think really OKC tanked. They just kind of, they traded for a young up-and-coming player and got a bunch of picks. They turned all those picks into their future. It is that, and nobody wants to sit there and have teams, take out their players and do this and that. And the lottery is set up like that. We just saw it happen yesterday. I mean, these 1.8 chances. I mean, that should happen 1 in 100 years. It seems like it happens every other year. Some team jumps up other than the Kings, and then when that does happen, they make the blunder of the,
But you are if you had to pick one or the other, you're pro tanking, right, Mark?
Well, I guess to me, it isn't about a tank job. It's about a rebuild. Those are two different games. Like I would have rather got a first-round pick than getting the guy from Chicago. I can't. Zach. He's a good player and so forth. But I'm like, he doesn't even fit the. Like, we're really going to get this guy. He's not going to take us to a championship. He's just going to keep us in Mediocreville. So I'd rather have that first-round pick.
Gotcha, Mark.
To go for the future.
Let me ask Mark a question. Let me ask Mark a question because Mark, you still on? Because what I'm hearing is either you're going for it or you're rebuilding, is what you're saying. And when I look around the NBA, the league, there's a lot of teams, Miami, Atlanta, Chicago, Toronto, Brooklyn, Sixers, Charlotte. So based on your philosophy, more than half the league should be tanking and should be rebuilding. Like, there's no middle ground because not every team in the NBA is a champion contender. We got to admit that. There's probably only like 6 or 7, maybe 8 contenders or teams one piece away.
Well, look at Detroit. They're a contender, but they're a young team that's growing. Even Houston, like last year, they weren't in the playoffs. They were probably, middle ground, but they're a young team that had hope. I mean, for me, I look at the Kings, like, we're getting older. Our number one option is a 35-year-old guy that, that we're probably looking to trade in the offseason. We didn't get anything back for De'Aaron. It's like, what are we going to do? Just go after some big-name guy to get us maybe into the playoffs? I mean, if they're talking about continued success in the future, none of these players kind of fit their model of defensive-minded two-way players. I mean, I would rather us, go for those younger players, get assets that fit the mold, and hopefully build something. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do it. I mean, if it was so easy, everyone would just do this. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It's a tough road.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate your call. Yeah. So there are a lot of teams that are kind of stuck in that middle. Not a good place to be, as we've said a million times.
Right. And we can continue to talk about this because I can make the argument that not tanking is the way to go. Just retooling, tweaking, and striking when that big superstar is available is the way to go for Sacramento.
What's the difference between tanking and retooling, tweaking? We're back with that on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Father's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for dads and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint,
outdoor and home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through May 14th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Rub your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Ralph Barbosa.
I just don't like going to church, man. I don't like the people there. Like, if those are the people that are going to be hanging out in heaven, I just go to hell.
Renee Vaca.
I'm Mexican, though, man. Stereotypical Mexican. When Donald Trump called us drug dealers, though, all right, he got his ass.
The Butterfly Effect Tour, Friday, May 23rd. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss Ralph Barbosa and Renee Vaca.
Memorial Day savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,500 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado Turbo Max in stock. And Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections of new Silverado in the Sacramento area. $12,500 off new Silverado. Exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Less than 2011 not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
On Sacktown Sports.
NBA playoffs continuing tonight after last night we saw the Knicks and the Timberwolves grab strangleholds on their respective series. So the Warriors, had a pretty good first half, but Minnesota just took them seriously and ran away in the third quarter. So Draymond wasn't a big story. It was was a big story. But did you see Draymond's takedown of Dante DiVincenzo?
I did see that. Like a wrestling move, right?
Yeah.
Got him like, yeah, I did see that.
Tackled him around the head, brought him down, but there was not even a foul called on that.
And did you see he had also a hard foul on Rudy Gobert also, and Rudy knew not to, but you could tell Rudy was like trying to control himself because he's like, this dude, once again, he's always involved in something.
I think on the play where he ended up putting DiVincenzo in a headlock, I think he was going for the ball, like with trying to tie him up, and his arm came from behind. And when it comes to tying a guy up or trying to tie a guy up, just about anything goes.
Right.
If you're on the floor, it's like,
it's a scrum. Yeah.
They wait and see if you get a hold of the ball any which way. Jump it up.
You can grab, pull, do whatever you need to do. Yeah.
Hit a guy with a hammer. That's all right.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to figure out where you are, where Kings fans are on tanking going forward. Because today on the J. Ross show with others, Carmichael Dave said, Drapes heard him. He said, Kings fans overwhelmingly are in favor of tanking.
Yes.
Yeah. And we assume that's based on one of his polls that he did. So we're just trying to get a sense. If that's true, then we should have a lot of people right now going, oh, yes, I definitely want to tank. We heard from Mark, and he said, well, he kind of couched it. He said, rebuild. I wouldn't say tank, but want to rebuild. Yeah. So we have this. We'll get to the phones in a second here. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. In the chateau here, Sacktown says, win regardless of who's playing. Chris with a K, no tanking. My husband and I will stop buying tickets if they start tanking. Strong Gamer says the team will continue to be poverty. Trying to run it back this season has been the worst ever. 40 wins, all for no first-round pick. No future, nothing to show for it. So that I think that's a vote pro tanking. Spencer, I'm ready to tear it all down, except maybe Keegan, Keon, and Jake, and start this over with young guys. So there is definitely a pro tank sentiment here.
Yeah, I even got somebody else on the 916 here. Seeing how the lottery turned out was the straw that broke the camel's back. I've been a season ticket holder since the Maloof days. I've never been in favor of tanking. However, seeing current and potential rosters in the West, there is no option but to gut the Kings and tank. It's disheartening to know the Kings are nowhere close to being title contenders. It might be time to accept reality and put my money to better use. I wish I would not have renewed my tickets for next season. And that's the issue if you're Vivek in the organization. Let's say you do tank. Let's say you rip it down to the studs. You're going to lose some season ticket holders. Can you swallow that? Or do you continue to put a product in that's going to get you 40 to 45 wins a season, but at least people will come out and support?
Yeah, I think it's been obvious that the plan has been to try to do both. Stay relevant while maintaining your young assets and maintaining your picks so that you can try to rebuild on the fly while you're competitive. It's just hard to do, but to me, it's pretty clear that's what they've been trying to do.
Right. And before the break, I'm looking at some of the teams in contention, and this is why I'm against tanking. I look at the Celtics, and people will say, well, Drapes, they tank. No, what they did was they had no plans on moving from KG, Pierce, and Ray and all them the way they did or run. But you had an owner in Brooklyn that wanted to win now. So they took advantage of the situation. That's what the Celtics did. OKC, Paul George was good. Russ was good. But they had a Clippers team that was desperate. And so then it was like, oh, you're desperate. Here's Paul George. Give me all this back. What we need is we don't go into it telling everybody, hey, guys, look, over here, we're getting rid of our best players. We got a fire sale. Come get them. What we need is a desperate team to say, I like this guy on the Sacramento Kings. He will help us. I don't know if that player is even there. I don't know. I don't know the value of our assets. But then they offer us, let's say DeMar. I'm just throwing a name out there. Miami is in love with DeMar. Maybe it's Jaime Jaquez in the first because Mickey Aronson and Pat Riley are desperate right now. That's the way to do it. I don't think having a fire sale, because we saw it with Utah. Utah had a fire sale. They aren't any closer than we are to a championship right now. It is what it is. And so I don't think you wave the flag and say, come take whatever you want from us. That's not the way to do it, I don't think.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 if you would like to participate. Ramiz joining us on Sacktown Sports. How are you, Ramiz? Good to talk with you.
Pretty good, gentlemen. I hope you guys are having a great afternoon. And Draper, I'm glad you clarified that, because when you start talking about MJ, the greatest of all time, I was like, what? And then you clarified why. You got to separate the icon from the individual. So the icon, Jordan, greatest ever. Player, greatest ever. Merchandise, probably the dopest out there. Everybody wants it. But in regards to the Kings, man, I just tear it down. But I wouldn't go, we're in a fire sale, like we just said, Whitey. There's got to be a team that's desperate to take the best rebounder in the league, and Sabonis, take them off our hands, offer some young players and some first-round picks. Same with get some draft picks for Levine. Same with DeMar. And like what the text said, I was building on our young core, which would be Keon Ellis, Keegan Murray, Devin Carter, and just do a rebuild, because like the last caller said, I don't want to be a playing team. When the Kings traded De'Aaron Fox, man, I was done because that was something to look forward to. We drafted him out of Kentucky. We had that Kentucky connection with Monk, and it was exciting to watch. But since we traded Fox, man, I've just not been in Kings games because we just don't. We're just not good. We're not good anymore.
Who's this here, Mark?
This is Ramiz.
Ramiz. Let me ask you this, Ramiz. Let's say we do tear it down. You still buying tickets to go to the game? You still going and support Keon and Keegan and Devin Carter?
I'm telling you, man, I used to go watch probably the greatest center in Sacramento Kings era when we had Boogie Cousins, man. When we seen a player like that, exciting to watch, I go to the games and watch him. When we had De'Aaron Fox his rookie years, first couple of years, he's exciting to watch. We just don't have somebody young and exciting. That's what we need, somebody young, a rookie exciting. We just got fleeced for that De'Aaron Fox trade. And I was telling my cousin, I wanted Castle so bad because I know he's a really good player, but we just got fleeced. But we just need young players that we draft and we can develop like we did Boogie Cousins, De'Aaron Fox. That's what's exciting. That's what's exciting. Even though we were winning 20 to 30 games a year, it was just exciting to watch those players because you would want to see what their stats would be every night.
Thank you, Ramiz. Thanks for calling.
Okay. All right.
So it sounds to me like for Ramiz, and I would think for a lot of people, the Kings need a young player who represents a bright future. And right now they don't have one.
Right.
You know, they have some pretty good players, but you don't have, like De'Aaron Fox was out for a lot of people. So, okay, he's gone. And now who is the young player that represents the future? They don't have that guy right now. So I think
real quick here, White, who would you consider the teams that have actually tanked over the last 5 years?
Well, I think I look at it differently than you because I think OKC did, and maybe they chose to a different way. Maybe they didn't decide to tank, but
I think once the Paul George deal came, then it was like, okay, we got now let's sell off everything else. I think that came, and that's what I'm talking about. They didn't go in saying we're give a fire sale. Paul George wanted to go there. And to Ramiz's point, if we knew De'Aaron Fox wanted to go to San Antonio, hold out and get as much as you can. That's where we messed up at. I don't think it's, a fire sale, blow it all up. We need to find, because Utah tried that. That hasn't worked. Washington's been doing that. Charlotte's been doing that. There are a number of teams, and people say, well, you got Detroit and Houston. We were Detroit and Houston 2 years ago. I got to see it play out for those two teams.
Yeah.
We were in their position 2 years ago.
It depends, too, on the terms. Like, what is a tank? Is that a committed effort to lose games, or can you tank in the short term? The Warriors, I can think of twice when the Warriors tanked. The year before, a couple of years before they won the championship, they tanked to get the pick that ended up being Harrison Barnes. They clearly, you can see, he's like, oh, they're not trying to win now. They got Harrison Barnes, and he was pretty good. And then, after Durant left, that 15 and 50 year, they tanked to get a good pick.
But that was because of injuries, too, right?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Part of it, too. They weren't any good anyway, too, right?
Oh, they were bad. Conversation continues when we come back. Should the Kings lean into some lean years here? You personally, as a Kings fan, you want them to tank, rebuild, retool, what? We still got to determine the difference between the two. We'll do that next on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh, my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Our old heater collapsed with a heavy sigh during the winter, and we needed a new one. It was freezing cold, but there's lots of HVAC companies out there. So, which one do you choose? It's incredible how many there are out there. We went with Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating at leesair.com. Over the weekend, it got hot again. Our new AC came on. It was great. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, they were ready to come out the day that we called, treated us with a lot of respect, got the job done. So it comes down to why choose Lee's with so many options. They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can't do better than that. They also get 4.8 stars on what I call Google. A lot of friends recommend them. They've won awards with their service, as I've told you, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC, heating, and plumbing needs. And you can trust Lee's. You can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, water heater, residential, commercial plumbing repair, and commercial HVAC services too. Part of our package, I think we get a free plumbing inspection. We have that coming up. Find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement, which is all about serving customers and community, and check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service. You want to let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me, treating us like family while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life and has improved the air that we breathe. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635. And you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Typically, a high handicapper carries an index of 20 or more. Golf Monthly's Barry Plummer offers 4 tips if you're tired of that high handicap. First, choose the right equipment. Invest in a 5-wood, which is more forgiving than a 3-wood or a 3 hybrid. It's a much better option for getting the ball in the air. Second, play for bogey on par 5s. Break the longer holes into manageable chunks, perhaps aiming to hit the green with 4 easy swings while also navigating away from the trouble along the way. 3, leave the sand wedge in the bag for chipping. Up and down percentages are almost twice as good when chipping a 9-iron over a sand wedge, and 3.5 times better with the putter. And finally, stop leaving your putts short. A 20 handicapper leaves 55% of their missed putts short of the hole. Give yourself a chance with every attempt and don't leave another putt short. Try these simple tips and let's see whether your handicap starts to come down. And have some fun out there. That'll help too. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers, a plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Bottom of the hour, Bonte Hill is going to join us from the Warriors TV team. He won't like this. Just been announced Steph Curry is officially out for Game 5. No surprise, but it's official now. Donovan Mitchell is in the starting lineup for the Cavs in Game 5.
Yeah, must win. All hands on deck, right? He's going to be out there about to tip off. Got it up here on the left TV screen, and we'll see how good he is when he's out there.
We're talking about the Kings' future, as we so often are here. Carmichael Dave today on the Jason Ross and Christopher Lodge show. Dave said something along the lines of Kings fans overwhelmingly want to tank. And we're assuming, again, that is based on one of his polls that he did. Draves wasn't sure about that, so we figured, well, what the heck? Let's find out if that's true. Kings fans listening now. So we're just asking you, not trying to talk you out of it or into it. What do you think? So far, there does seem to be Definitely a lot of people leaning towards tanking in the chateau here from Jason, and we'll get to the phones in a minute here. Jason says, you just need a team that consistently gets in the playoffs. Saying, are they a contender, though? To minimize that is just subjective. I mean, you never know if you're in the tourney, you got a chance. So that sounds like, no, you got to win, you get in the tournament, and then that makes you a contender. Spencer Lampkins, I'm ready to tear it all down, except maybe Keegan, Keon, and Jake, and start this over with young guys. Yelovich and Richardson says, stop the tank talk.
What is it with Keegan, Keon, and Jake and Devin that people are so enamored with?
They're the young guys. And they're, like I was saying, you want players that represent a bright future. And, fans are going to fan. And, the young players that you drafted, you see them grow up and come into their own. And it's like, they're our guys.
You ain't going to win in games. Like, they're going to be putting up some numbers, but we're going to be 10-72.
You mean if they're your core?
If that's the core.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but
people want them to understand what they want.
Whatever you're building, they want them to be part of it.
Right. I hear you on that. You want them to be a part of the team. But if that's your core, and we also got to remember, Whitey, and I brought this up before, Vivek is running a business. And the question is, as an owner, are you running the business to win a championship, or are you running the business to make money? And it's hard to tell an owner, tank, because we know that'll affect season ticket sales, may affect TV revenue, next contract, whatever it may be. That affects parking, that affects everything. That you're basically telling the owner, sacrifice millions on top of millions.
Yeah.
To hopefully maybe have the opportunity to compete for a championship. That's tough.
Speaking of the cores, one of the reasons so many people are right now saying, start over, tear it down, retool it, whatever. They don't have faith in this core. They feel like this core has gotten this team as far as they're going to get them. And they feel like, 40 wins, play-in team maybe. They want something younger, fresher, brighter, something they can feel more optimistic about, rightly or wrongly. I think that's what we're hearing. That's where fans are. How about AJ on Sacktown Sports? Hello, AJ. How are you?
Hey guys. Thanks for taking my call. The whole teardown idea is a bad idea at this point. We're forgetting that we have some really exciting players on this team. DeMontis Simone is the best rebounder in the league, obviously. Levine can score the ball. I mean, he's been off and on, but he still is going to put people in the seat, butts in the seats, And Monk, I mean, is there a more exciting player than him? I mean, do we need to make some moves in the offseason? Yeah, there probably should be a true point guard in there. And then we keep talking about it year after year, a bigger wing. The last caller they called a little while ago talked about, fire sale and developing players. When have the Kings ever developed players that well? I mean, let's go back to, Jimmer, Stauskas, even Tyreek Evans, these are all guys that were, Mitchell, he's starting tonight, but, what did he do for us? The Kings don't have a history of developing young talent that well. We got lucky with Fox. Obviously Boogie was great, but who since then?
Yeah, thank you.
To say that we should cash in on these proven talents that we have right now on our team, I don't think it's a good idea. We have a new coaching staff, and not a new coaching staff, but with Chrissy getting a new chance and a new GM, perhaps he makes a couple more trades and makes a couple good moves that will help us. We really have to kind of write it out at this point, though.
Gotcha, AJ. Thank you.
All right, AJ. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to tank. And again, we're not trying to talk you into it or out of it, just trying to get a sense of where fans are. I don't think, because of the reasons you mentioned, I don't think they're going to. I could see them leaning into a leaner year where you have at least 1 year where it's about acquiring talent and re-establishing what direction you're headed in. But, it's like Jason Jones said today when we talked to him, a very cheerful conversation with him today about the Kings draft history, right? Very cheery conversation.
I know, right? That was depressing.
He said they're too good to, you can't just go nowhere or tank. You have too much talent on the roster.
Yeah, somebody from the 209 says, it sounds like Kyle is on board with retooling with the mediocre way to go. Question for Drapes, when and who has that ever worked for? I'm not okay with retooling. I'm saying don't wave the flag. Don't have a yard sale, put everybody out there. I'm saying when it is time to strike, I'm of the belief nobody's untouchable on the roster, depending on what you can get. But when teams know you're tanking, you're selling off, trust me, Whitey, you've been to garage sales. You've been to yard sales.
I have.
They'll have a rake on sale for $1. Are you buying that rake for $1? No, you'll probably say, will you take 50 cents? That's what, to me, that's what tanking signals to the rest of the league. And so I'm looking at it as, are any of our players valued around the league? Is somebody willing to give up a young Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in picks for somebody, or a Jalen Brunson, or somebody of a young James Harden back in the day when he was on OKC? Is somebody willing to overpay for one of our players because they're desperate? That's what I want to see happen.
Yeah, of course, the trick of that, or part of the trick of that, is you can see something in the player like a Shai that other teams don't see, but you know he's going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander someday. You don't know it, but we're going to benefit from that. Some interesting thoughts here, as always, in the chateau. Strong Gamer says the goal isn't to lose on purpose. It is to invest in draft capital instead of a meaningless win now. Sam Presti's model is what the Kings need. Jeffrey Simpton, this is a good question. We should answer this before we get any further.
What you got?
Is a rebuild the same as a tank? Because we've been going around and around on that. And it's all fair,
I don't
but what are
think
we
it
talking
is.
about?
I don't think
Rebuild,
it is.
tank, retool?
I don't think a rebuild in a tank. To me, a tank is what Utah did. To me, a tank is what we saw Washington do, Brooklyn this year. To me, that's a tank. I could argue, and everybody talks about OKC, I could argue OKC did not tank, Whitey. They rebuilt. They didn't sell off every piece. They got Shai. They said, that's the guy we want to build around. They didn't just do it through the draft. They had a Paul George that wanted to go to the Clippers, and the Clippers were desperate, so they overpaid. That's what I'm looking. I'm not looking to just sell off pieces. Utah sold off Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, and what has it gotten them?
Nothing.
Not a thing. Not even a top pick.
The 5th pick in this year's draft.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way, are there any players in next year's draft that look like they'd be worth tanking for? I know we're a little ahead of ourselves, but we'll look at those players next on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this? Half off tune-up right now. It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, not to be redundant, but that's what makes this conversation tricky. Should the Kings tank? Well, what do we mean by tank? We talked about retooling. One thing I think we know is that Scott Perry said this year is going to be about establishing an identity. He didn't say that means they can't win. We'll learn more about that. We don't even know who's going to be on the roster, but it does sound like the priority this year will be establishing who and what the Kings are and what they're about. Can you win while you do that?
Right,
You
right.
can. But again, I appreciate all the feedback here on would you want to tank? I can't imagine that they will go into a complete tank mode. I just don't think it's
No, we
something
can't
to
see
consider.
that. Yeah, I don't think so. It's, it'd be different if we had success, competed hard, won, a couple of playoff series the last 10 years, and then, all right, guess it's time to hit we tasted a little bit of success. Now you're telling me go back to the dark ages with the Sacramento Kings?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I can't see it.
Now I believe this is the same person on the text line. I wish they would put their name on it. If it is the same person, which I think it is, they've been saying this for a while here from the 916. Please have the Kings tank next season for Darren Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
Blow it up. You know anything about Darren Peterson?
Nah, point guard out of Kansas, I think. I don't know a whole lot about him. You got something for me on that?
I do. From CBS Sports, your favorite NBA team missed out on Cooper Flagg. Here are 5 prospects worth tanking for in 2026. Just a real quick look. This is way premature. Yeah. And some of these, it's amazing how young these guys are. So 5 players who could be worth tanking again for. Darren Peterson.
Yeah.
Combo guard from Kansas. Yeah, going to Kansas here. He's from Napa. Combo guard, nationally ranked number 1 among combo guards, number 1 in the state of California, number 1. 6'5", 195. Darren Peterson. Like, who's that? Well, keep that name in mind.
Okay.
18.3 years old.
Oh, man.
Dangerous 3-level score. We only have 5 here, so bear with us. AJ DeBanza.
DeBanza.
Thank you.
High on this guy.
Yeah, from Utah Prep. 6'9", 210. Again, he's 18 years old. Nationally, number 2 prospect among, shooting forwards. He's number 1, and he's number 1 prospect in the state of Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Consensus top prospect in the 2025 recruiting class and 2026 draft class. So you've heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of AJ. Yeah,
forward.
His NIL deal is supposedly like 7, 8, 9 million, something
Headed
like
to
that.
BYU.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We could use a little length there.
Yeah, 6'9" guy.
I'm allowing myself
like
to
that.
dream. Here's a familiar name. 6'9", headed to Duke, power forward. Cameron Boozer.
People are high on him. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. People are high on
Cameron
him.
is one of Carlos Boozer's twin sons.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Heard of him before.
Physical, old school forward playing with toughness. Again, these are guys that we could be talking about a year from now. These could be players that teams are tanking for a year from now. Nate Ament, power forward, shooting forward from Tennessee. He's 18, 6'10", 200.
6'10".
From Warrenton, Virginia.
You need that, right?
Yes. I was going to say that's my guy, but then I looked at the picture of him and it's like, what is he, 12?
I know. These kids are young, man. It's crazy how young these kids are.
Yeah. He's a late bloomer, Drapes. Not as physically developed as some peers, but tantalizing tools.
Okay.
Can you imagine how difficult it is when your job is to determine which of these guys are going to be pros and good pros,
right?
Great pros when they're 18 years old right now.
Right. Good enough to tank for, too, we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Amiant's upside massive. With the right development, he could force his way into the number 1 pick conversation by season's end. And then just one more guy. Kings need what, Drapes? Scott Perry says they need what?
What, point guard and the length? And
Darius Acuff, going to Arkansas from Bradenton, Florida. 6'2", 185. Phenomenal point guard, Darius Acuff Jr.
Okay. All right.
Top point guard in the 2025 class. One of the most polished backcourt players entering college.
Man, I'm looking at the NBA draft.net mock draft. They don't have him listed. I wonder if he or reclassification or something like that. But I've heard of some of these guys, Whitey, and I get it, but I don't know, man.
Of course not. We're just having some fun.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It just speaks to how iffy this whole thing is.
I do want to make this point because everybody is saying OKC, the OKC model is the way to go. Whitey, OKC didn't start tanking until they traded Paul George and got Shea.
Mm-hmm.
And they were their hand was forced to trade Paul George.
And what year are we talking here?
2018. 2019. Shea was just a rookie, just finished this rookie year. You look at OKC's draft picks since before that, in 2019, Brandon Clark. 2020, one first-round pick, 2020, Emmanuel Quickly. That was part of the, Knicks trade and everything. But they didn't start getting picks until they traded Paul George away, meaning they weren't intending to tank or retool, rebuild until Paul George said, I want out. If the Kings were going to tank and rebuild, they probably should have did it when they got rid of De'Aaron Fox. That's because Fox wanted out. He only wanted to go to one destination.
You're saying they should have gotten more for him?
They should have gotten more for him.
Start everything?
Now you start everything. You didn't do that. And so now you're just going to have a garage sale where people are going to try to haggle you. Oh, you want to get rid of Sabonis? You want to get rid of Zach? You want to get rid of DeMar? I'm only going to give you 50 cents on the dollar for it. I'm not giving you no first-round picks. You know what?
Yeah.
And if I do, it's highly protected. Like, I don't even know if we can tank, White.
That's why if Scott Perry wanted to tank, they probably would put it off for another year or two based on the contracts that they currently have.
Yeah.
You'd be freed up. A lot of money would be freed up. Also depends on, we're assuming Domas wants to stay.
Yeah.
We don't know that for a fact, right? He could force your hand here.
Right. And he could force your hand. Yeah, you're right. If he says, I want out, all right, then you got some things to think about.
Right.
And regarding DeMar, if I'm correct, he has one more year and then a partially guaranteed year after that. His contract could become valuable at some point. And so if I'm Scott Perry, I'm examining all of that. I'm looking at all of that, Whitey. I'm not just saying, yeah, here, take whatever you want. Nah, I can't do that.
Zach LaVine, you got 47.4 that you're paying him this year. Next year, 48.9, and then he would be a free agent. Although, let's see, he has a player option 48.9, 26-27. Yeah. Domas, you have until he makes 49.9 and 27-28. Then he's off the books. Malik has a player option 27-28. So my point is, your main players right now, you have them for this year and next year as well.
And next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So if, doesn't look like this would be the year to tank, even if they wanted to. But on the other hand, you got so much talent there that I think we're talking about a kind of a retooling around the edges and trying to fortify what you have here as your core while at the same time establishing your future direction.
Right.
It's going to be tricky.
Going to be tricky.
DeMar DeRozan deal, if there is one, is going to be massively important for him and for your franchise.
Right. And we'll see, if that is brought up, a trade for DeMar, what can you actually get back for him? It's not going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and 4 first-rounders or whatever. It's going to be like, and that's, part of the issue with some of our assets that we were talking about. It's like, are our guys even valued around the league enough to where tanking is even an option? What do you want to tank for 2 second-round picks? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to figure out what you're doing with Keon and Keegan and Jake LaRavia. Like we said yesterday, I think Jake LaRavia is a really interesting barometer too, because for him to stay, you'd have to say, look, we'll do this, we'll do that, you re-sign. He would have to really like the direction in which you're headed.
Right.
Unless he just loves Sacramento so much that he's like, yeah, whatever you want to do, I want to stay here, which is certainly possible.
Right. And let me say this. I know people are saying, enough of the tank talk. Tanking is actually good sports talk radio, because really what we should be talking about is what's the next step going forward? What kind of moves can Scott Perry make? Who's out there that we want to target? Do we have enough to get in on the Giannis conversation, the KD, conversation? Maybe Zion or somebody like that. Right now, we don't have any smoke at all regarding anybody.
See, that's a great point, because you got so many moving pieces in the NBA, and part of Scott Perry's job is to figure out where there are opportunities there for the Kings. And maybe there are none.
Right.
But with KD, where's KD going? What is that going to entail with other teams making moves? Do we have an opportunity to somehow ride on the coattails of that or get something on the back door of that deal? Same thing with Giannis. They're not going to get Giannis, but maybe the movement between other teams that want to get Giannis opens something up, an opportunity for the Kings.
And you know what we can be? we can be with Chicago, with San Antonio. Maybe we're that third team.
Right. Right.
Sure, we'll help facilitate a deal. We'll do something, but we got to get a first-round pick out of it. Maybe that's a way to go as well.
Mm-hmm. But it's just so hard for Kings fans because the last couple of off seasons they've known, or at least thought they knew where this was headed, what they're trying to do. And right now there's just a lot of, what are we doing? We just have to be patient, and it's really hard.
Yeah.
We didn't get any help yesterday at all.
None at all. I will say, we got the draft picks, though. We have draft capital if we wanted to do something.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to do something. Somebody says from the 916, DeMar for Garland and draft picks. Cleveland's not giving us Garland and draft picks?
I wouldn't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't see.
Maybe that person feels like Cleveland, they're going to get knocked out. Then they're going to be looking at it going, what do we need? Oh, we need DeMar DeRozan. All right, let's go get him. I wouldn't read it that way.
Yeah.
By the way, they're winning right now. So
yeah. Real quick, 916, Kings should be like the Brooklyn Nets post KG and Pierce trade. Take flyers on young guys and get whatever assets you can scrape up.
But they're tanking.
Right. But he's saying post KG and Pierce trade when they had Dinwiddie and those.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
KG.
Yeah.
Pierce
mistake.
and KG. When you had Dinwiddie, Jared Allen. But
that
the thing about it, that was a fun
Karis
team.
LeVert?
Yeah, Karis LeVert. That was a fun team. But then Kyrie and KD wanted to go to Brooklyn.
And they ruined it.
And messed it up. Who's coming to sack it for us? I don't
know. We know who's coming on the show with us.
Yeah, Bonte
Hill of the Warriors broadcast team joins us next with a look at Golden State, the playoffs at large. And he and Drapes might get into it a little bit.
You never know.
A little bit. What happens next on Sacktown Sports.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
This is Jill Schlesinger. May is Military Appreciation Month, and I know how much I appreciate the military. I married into a military family. I hear from so many members of the military, and Navy Federal Credit Union wants us to celebrate those who go above and beyond for us every day. If you're active duty, a veteran, or part of a military family, you're eligible to join. At Navy Federal Credit Union, the members are the mission. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service. We're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is this weekend with Bailey Zimmerman.
Lead me all the way.
Smith, Ernest, and more. Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo. Don't miss pop-up stores, food trucks, line dancing, and more. Country in the Park, celebrating 25 years, May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Get tickets and more info at CITPFest.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Oh boy, we always appreciate you being with us. We appreciate anytime we have a guest on, but we've got to be honest about things, Strapes. About to bring on a special guest, but I have to tell this story because this story is true.
Oh, I got to hear this, sir.
Anthony's running the board for us today, in for Jay, right? Anthony doing a fine job. Anthony, just eager lad, wants to learn, right? Hardworking.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, he was at a take-on class at San Francisco State University. Go Gators. That's where I went.
Okay.
And that day, it happened to be during the Kings-Warriors playoff series. And so, Anthony, if I get any of this wrong, Anthony, please correct me.
Yeah, all right so far.
Anthony's in class, and they have a special instructor.
Yeah.
Like a guest
special guest speaker. Yeah.
You can imagine young Anthony's like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's great.
Legend
on
out
TV,
there, probably.
radio. Yeah. And so this guest instructor is asking the young, eager students about what they think about what's going on in sports. Anthony says that he thinks the Kings are going to do well against the Warriors.
Right.
And our next guest chastises him, ridicules him.
What did you laugh at you?
It was so someone said, like, are you worried about this? And Bonte's like, I'm not worried about the Kings. He was so confident,
Yeah. How did you feel?
Right.
How did you feel?
I felt I was wearing a Kings shirt, if I remember correctly, and I doubt he remembers this. I wonder if he remembers being in Mike Mitchell's class, but we'll hear from him.
Here he is, one and only Bonte Hill. How are you, Bonte?
Bonte, what's up?
I'm doing. Hey, I must have been a speaker of the year, man. Kings, man. In San Francisco State. Man, they should give me a raise for that, man. I don't remember it, Anthony, but man, I will have to find that footage somewhere. Put that on my highlight reel, man.
Bonte, man, always good having you on the show. Now, and people got to understand, me and Bonte, we don't text each other. I don't go on his show. He doesn't come on mine, but we do FaceTime each other.
Oh, okay.
Now, mind you, Whitey.
Yeah.
When the Warriors win, him and Chris Mullin FaceTiming me all the time.
What about Festus?
Festus too. Bonte, when's the last time you FaceTime me? It's been a minute, right? It's been a minute. Y'all ain't won no games recently, so you crickets out there. What's going on with your squad, man?
Hey, well, listen, Draper doesn't pick up my FaceTime
I'm
anymore.
tired. I don't.
At the end of March, man, when he knew the Kings were through, he said, the hell with this. I'm not picking it. I thought he blocked me, man. I swear. I was like, man, Drake's blocked me on the phone. Nothing's coming up.
Yeah, I'm going to show Whitey. Look, Whitey, you see Bonte Hill, the red one right there?
Yeah.
That was May 4th. So it's been 9 days since the last Warriors win, I think, for Bonte. Hey, let me ask you this though, Bonte, for real, seriously. You did a YouTube or an Instagram live the other day, and Kings fans, I got to let you know how I'm riding for you. I'm riding and dying for Sacramento out here in these streets, Bonte. Bonte's doing a little talk back on IG Live with his little viewers, had about 15 viewers or something like that. And so I said, let me jump on here on his IG Live. Bonte, tell the people out there what I did on your Instagram Live. I came in there and took over that thing, right?
Yeah, he basically said, like, hey, Warrior fans, you still got hope. We know you're the best team in Northern California. You've been holding down for the state of California for over a decade. Keep the faith alive, man. Us Kings fans wish we were in this spot.
No, come on. That's terrible, dude. Come on.
was like, man, Draper plays for the Warriors now.
Unbelievable.
Wow. We converted him.
Unbelievable. I said, light the beam. I put the purple light in there. I took over his IG live there for a minute, and so I'm representing. We riding and dying for Sacramento out here on the drive.
Bonte, I got to tell you, during the Rockets series, I let it be known that I was pulling for the Warriors. And Drapes, he did the thing where, rolls back in his chest. Oh, what? And he tried to get everybody listening to turn against me. But I knew they were going to win that series. That said, this series, what is wrong with your boy Pajemski? Has he been hanging out with Guru or something for jump shot lessons? What is going on?
I don't know who, man. It has been rough, man. But look, it's his first postseason go around. Usually, young players, and when they get their first crack at a playoff series, at a couple playoff series, it gets a little daunting. The lights get brighter, especially in the conference semifinals. And so, yes, he's been entering last night, fellas. He was shooting 31.5% from the floor in his last 6, and under 26% from the 3-point line. And then last night he goes 0 for 4 from 3, and he makes 3 of his 14 field goal attempts. Now he's struggling mightily. It's been a rough playoff ride for him. Look, he played against more athletic players, and it just shows the gravity and the way Steph plays. He opens up everything for everybody. You can play the easiest basketball of your life. Ask Andrew Wiggins when you play alongside Stephen Curry. No, Steph, all of a sudden the spacing is taken away. All of a sudden, and the other thing too is him and most of the team, they can't blow by anybody off the dribble. So now you have these shot clock violations. You've got grenade balls where all of a sudden it's 3 seconds left on the shot clock. You got to force up a bad shot. So yes, Podge is struggling, but he's not the only one. But his first postseason. I'll stall him out a little bit because he is missing some wide open shots, and right now he's pressing. But Podge, there's no doubt he's struggling, man. It's been rough.
Yeah, you said others are struggling also. What's up with playoff Jimmy? We haven't seen it since Steph Curry went out.
Yeah, you got the one game in Game 3 Saturday night, but in the fourth quarter he goes 1 of 7 to scores 4. He's 35 years old. There's a reason why in NBA history, when you have a top 3 of a 37-year-old, a 35-year-old, and another 35-year-old, why that has never accomplished championship feats. Why that core of that age has never won an NBA championship. And so you knew that coming in and said, boy, it's going to be really difficult. And Jimmy's an ISO guy. So it's a contrast to the way the Warriors want to play. They want to play read and react, 25 basketball, get up to 30 assists. Let's move the ball. Let's shoot with about 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Jimmy holds it. And there was an Orlando game. And listen, unlike the Sacramento Kings broadcast from Draper, we don't sell that propaganda or Warriors pre and post game live. So we was breaking this down where Jimmy Butler, if he goes against taller, lengthier, more athletic defenders, and there was an Orlando game where Steph dropped 56, but the way Jonathan Isaac and Paulo Banchero guarded Jimmy Butler that day, we kind of just bookmarked that and looked at it moving forward. And if you look at the teams that has guarded Jimmy really well, like Houston, like Minnesota, long, active defenders, rangier. They don't go for the pump fake, so they don't put him on the free throw line. And so, it's tough to carry a team, but he's struggling. Yesterday they said he was ill, but you know what, Drake said, why do y'all say this? He can't walk off the court with just 9 field goal attempts in a Game 4 without Stephen Curry, all right? He can't walk off the floor in game number 2 taking just 13 FGAs. He wasn't brought to the Bay Area to do that. He was, especially without Steph. You got to get up 20 shots. You got to ball hog at times. You got to pull up from 3. So, playoff Jimmy hasn't really been activated during this postseason. We've seen glimpses of it, but it hasn't been the guy that we saw in South Beach, Miami, leading them to 2 NBA Finals appearances.
That, of course, is Bonte Hill, Warriors pre- and post-game host for NBC Sports Authentic, San Francisco radio legend. Bonte, what about Jonathan Kuminga? How much has he improved his market? I know he's restricted going into this offseason with his play the last few weeks. And my impression has always been ownership just loves him. You think they'll re-sign him and match whatever offers he gets? Yeah, well, I'm not going to put words in Jonathan Kuminga's mouth, and I'm not going to sit here and try to be a mind reader, but I think if JK moved on, he wouldn't mind it because of the way this is played out. It's borderline criminal to think that he was picking up DMPs. The last regular season game against the Clippers, obviously the playing game against Memphis. He had 4 DMPs this postseason alone. And I was like, oh no, Steph is out. Let's break glass in case of an emergency. Hey, JK, try to save us. And all of a sudden, this young man, who's only 22 years old,
who's been I'm not going to say jerked around. That's maybe a little too strong because he's got to be accountable himself for some of his work habits at times and, getting along with the head coach. But look, this guy has been solid. When he gets 30 minutes a game, he averages over 21 and 7 and shoots over 50% from the floor over the course of his career. So he needs to play like any other young player. They need to play, and get minutes. The fact that he wasn't playing and then he bounces back and scores 18 in game 2, opens a game going 8 for 8. Then he follows it up with a 30-burger. And then last night, he was the best player on the floor for the Golden State Warriors. I mean, that was he's going to get his value is going to go up just off the strength that he was ready to roll despite not playing. And I think teams are taking notice like, wow, that guy was on the bench on that roster. What is going on in Golden State? So he's going to have a nice market because he's athletic. He's 6'8". He's strong. He can go dunk on your head. His three-point shot has come a long way. Now he needs to work on his handles, and there is some flaws to his game defensively, especially when he's playing off the ball defensively. But there's no doubt he's going to have a market this offseason. And I think if it goes up to Jonathan Kuminga, he'd throw up the deuces and say, let me get a fresh start somewhere else.
And I think he needs to be honest with you. It's, clearly we saw him here against Sacramento. He was a matchup nightmare for us in some of the games we played. And like you said, it's criminal. He's getting DMP CDs. With that being said, this series is over tomorrow. We both, I think, agree with that. This thing is donezo tomorrow in Minnesota. If you're the Warriors, Bonte, do you think they feel like, if it wasn't for Steph's injury, they could have made a real run to maybe the Western Conference Finals, NBA Finals? And will that inspire them to just run it back next season? Or do they need to make some tweaks to the roster going forward?
Yeah, that's a great question, Drake, because I think they need to make some tweaks. Steph plays a different way than Jimmy, and Jimmy plays a different way than Steph. How will that look over 82 games? Draymond, you're going to add another year to Draymond Green, who, let's face it, he's had 2 solid games in this playoff run. The rest have been very forgettable. I mean, come on. There's a stat out there, fellas, where he's tied with Kendrick Perkins for the most playoff games, where he's had more turnovers than field goals made. All right. I know he's known for his defense, but offensively, you notice the 2 games that he was really good. He scored 16 and had the 4-3 barrage in the second quarter against the Minnesota in game 1. When he's playing offensively well, this team goes to another level. But with the Steph injury, to answer your question, Jake, yes, there was hope that in this wide open league with OKC battling with Denver and what's going on in the Eastern Conference with Cleveland down 3-1 and Boston down 3-1. Yes, there was hope within this organization that, yes, we could sneak in here and still a finals appearance and get a championship. There's no doubt they felt like that. Now, would it have come to fruition? I have my doubts because of the age of the team, the top of the roster, and then the lack of consistency with the youngsters. So I thought, hey, second-round team at best, but can you run it back next year? No, I think you need major changes, shooting-wise. Outside of Steph, Buddy, who's your three-point shooters? Right now, Quentin Post can't get his shot off. He goes into the game. Teams are attacking him defensively, and they got the scatter report. Do not let the big fella open on the perimeter. Get up on him. They can put the ball on the floor. He'll turn it over. So now he's not playing. Moses Moody. I mean, there's a 3-game stretch, fellas, where he didn't hit a shot from the floor. He scored 3 points off from the free throw line in 3 games. What's happened to Mo Bundy? So, you need more shooting, you need more athleticism, and you need size. Like the small ball era with this team, and really it wasn't small. Whitey, you know this from covering the Warriors so many years. Hey, Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green. That's not a small ball lineup. Those dudes got 7-foot wingspans for crying out loud. Now, though, they're extra small, and they're not athletic. So on any given night, they're at an athletic disadvantage. There may be some big overhauls here, some major changes with the Golden State Warriors. I think because I'm kind of with you, Drake. I think tomorrow's it. Minnesota's not messing around. They know that there's a chance Stephen Curry can come back for Game 6. So why not just end it at 5, not have to worry about number 30 returning to the series? I think they need to. Everybody but Steph is probably going to be on the table, and that includes Jimmy Butler. I think they're going to take calls on anything. Joe Lacob and company, they're star hunters. All right, they want the big fish. They're going to go after the big fish like they tried to do at the deadline, and I think they're going to try to do the same thing this offseason.
Bonte Hill with us. I want to ask you about a guy who's kind of a lightning rod here. I'd love your view from another market here on a guy the Kings are probably going to extend this year. Fans are torn. Drapes and I talk to fans every day. He's still the future. We love him. They don't give him enough touches. Other fans like he's not the player they thought he was going to be. It's time to move on from him. What is a guy watching from afar? What do you think of Keegan Murray?
Oh my gosh, Drapes knows this, and Whitey, I love Keegan Murray.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's so damn underutilized in Sacramento, and this was a problem which I had from afar with the Kings signing DeMar DeRozan. Look, I get it. A lot of free agents don't sign to Sacramento. Vivek Radadive, obviously he wanted to go start hunting himself and say, you know what, let me go get a big fish. But I thought you could have just read it back and waited to the trade deadline instead of giving that money out to DeMar DeRozan and then doubling down on trading for Zach LaVine. It killed Keegan Murray. Like, I would have came into the season knowing that Sabonis is there, De'Aaron Fox, you got Malik Monk coming off the bench. Let's feature Keegan Murray.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's got the size, the length. I've seen him defend Stephen Curry. He gives Steph Curry hit with his length. He gave him issues in that first-round series, and he gave him issues in that playing game. And then if he could just get a consistent jumper and just get consistent shot opportunities, I think Keegan could be a very good player. Like, he's on my wish list in case the Warriors want to do something. I'm saying, well, can Keegan Murray come down? He'd be perfect to play alongside Steph next season.
Hands off, Bonte. Hands off.
So look, hey, man, I don't know why Kings fans are not as high, but I think they need to feature him more. But the moves that the Kings made last season, I think, really hindered Keegan Murray's value on that team. And he's probably looking like, hey, man, can I get an opportunity? Because you know LaVine and DeRozan are going to get their shots. Malik Monk's going to get his shots. Domantas Sabonis is going to have the ball in his hands for the most part. So where does that leave Keegan? It feels kind of similar to Harrison Barnes with the Golden State Warriors. Now, I think Keegan Murray has a bigger upside than HB, but it kind of feels similar to that situation the Warriors had a decade ago with HB.
Thanks for your time as always, B. It sounds like you and Drapes are in a pretty good spot right now.
No, we actually see basketball similarly.
Good.
Despite, our allegiances to our franchises. We actually see the game very similar.
That's nice.
I'm a Kuminga guy. I'm a Keegan guy. He's a Keegan guy.
Yeah, no, Jace is my guy, Whitey. Jace is my guy. Dude, he's good for the Bay Area. We need a hill. I'm a hill up in Sacramento. It's all love. When they get to the newsroom is vibrant and jumping. They're like, man, where's Drapes at? Where's Bonte? Oh, wait, Billy loves it too. Yo, call Drapes. He's the one instigating half the time. Yo, call Drapes real quick. Like, Billy's trying to write down stats for halftime, dude. No, call Drapes right now. See what he's up to, man.
Is that what it is? All right.
What's the other spot?
Hey, next time I'll answer the FaceTime. Next time I'll answer. I was in Vegas last time, big fella.
Well, you won't be getting the FaceTime Wednesday. I may be wearing the black suit. Maybe a funeral.
Right.
Thank you, Bonte.
All right, B.
We appreciate it, man.
Drapes, man. And Anthony, dump that Kings gear, man. Or I'm going to have him take your revoke your diploma at SF State. We don't get down like that. Come on, man.
I think that you yelling about the Kings during class was enough. I think I'm good. I'm good with my
Anthony,
Kings gear. I'm going to represent. I represent the whole team.
Hold on, Anthony.
What's good?
This the drive, guys. This ain't Bonte show. Cut him off, Anthony.
No, he's gone.
Get rid of him. Cut him.
See you, Bonte.
Cut him.
Yeah, when we come back, he's getting an up-close personal look at the biggest show in baseball next on Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Clear and cool Wednesday morning. Valley temperatures around 50 degrees, but will warm up fast. Afternoon highs in the low 80s with light winds. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Take advantage of huge savings during our Memorial Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
Full details and disclaimer.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Zach Geloff suffered a setback as he was pulled from his rehab assignment with AAA Las Vegas due to a stress reaction in his ribs that occurred while taking a swing. There's no timetable for his return. Ken Waldichuk, out with that left elbow sprain, threw all 30 of his pitches in a side session last week and will throw another session this week and is targeting a return during the All-Star break. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer.
So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today.
Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
So the great Bonte Hill, thanks again to Bonte for joining us. Even Bonte says, the Warriors just about toast.
Yeah, he said
Just about
tomorrow
done.
it's over. It's a wrap tomorrow. That's why I wanted to have him on today, Whitey, because
I got
after
you.
they lose tomorrow, it's like, who cares?
Yesterday's
about the Warriors?
news.
Old news now. Yeah. So, no, shout out to him, man. It's always fun having him on.
Yeah. Long ways to go here, but Cleveland looks like they're serious about extending their series.
Yeah, and it looks like Indiana's, content with trying to win it back at home in Game 6. They're playing with fire a little bit. They're getting smoked right now, 42-25. Cavs on top.
But these playoffs, who knows?
Right.
So many times the score's been one-sided, and then I'm talking to you, and then I look up, and it's like, wow, it's a 2-point game.
Yep.
Yeah. How's Donovan Mitchell doing? Do you know?
13 points, just 3 of 7, but he's been to the free throw line 8 times already. 7 of 8 from the line, 2 steals and a block, plus 15, a team high right now.
Now, I know you're not a big Denver fan. Have you been at least enjoying the basketball?
No, it's been amazing basketball. It's been great. Obviously rooting for OKC tonight in Game 5, but no, I think that's been the best series here in the second round for sure. Celtics, Knicks, the games have been close for the most part, but these are 2 really closely matched teams, and so it could go either way.
So you're going to watch basketball or baseball tonight? With the Athletics of West Sacramento.
I know for sure I'm watching basketball.
Taking on the Dodgers.
Dude, woo. I'm outing myself. I haven't watched a baseball game yet.
Really?
This season. I have not. And so maybe I'll have it on the second screen. But, Whitey, I'm not sitting there. We've talked about this. I'm not sitting there. Everything is in the background for me. It's not like, let me sit here, watch this game with remote in hand. It's usually in the background.
As you probably know, the Dodgers have the best home record in baseball, 15-3. The A's have the best road record in baseball,
what
at
they
13-7.
Something got to give.
Yeah,
tonight.
I think we know what it's going to be, but you never know.
Well, what's the matchup tonight? Who's on the mound tonight? Any idea?
Last I saw the A's, it was TBA, so maybe that was
to
just
be determined.
Yeah, to be announced.
All right.
Against Knack, it was Knack against TBA for the A's. That was the last I saw.
Here.
Landon Knack
against Springs.
Okay.
Springs getting the start.
Thanks for coming
tonight. Yeah, Jeff Springs.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
4-3, 4.81 ERA. Against that Dodgers lineup.
Not
Not giving him a chance.
Soft tosser.
Not giving him a
thumber.
chance, huh?
You never know. It's baseball.
Knack 2-0, 4.61 ERA.
So the A's got this continuation of this rough patch here. With they just had the Yankees, and then they got the Dodgers, and then Los Gigantes.
Yeah, Giants in San Francisco.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest here. When they used to play each other, Babe Ruth series was something. This is a little different, and I know they're here, and that's great, but it's not the Babe Ruth series anymore when the A's are playing the Giants.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. What do you call it? The Causeway Classic?
Causeway series, right. I-80. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. And here's the thing about it, too. How many A's fans will be in attendance? Because if you're in Oakland, are you like, I don't want to see this team. I'm not supporting this team.
I do think that's been a factor too. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. You got the minor league park. You got a lot of people that are just like, I don't want to get behind that.
But they're a solid team, above 500.
Score a lot of runs, but it's a weird deal. It's fun, but it's an unusual experience out here at Sutter Health Park, and everyone's just doing the best as they can. But it's a little odd.
Yeah,
not a major league experience.
What do you think of? They've given up the most runs in the American League. Is that ballpark related? Do you think?
Some of it is, but some of it is.
They just.
Who'd you say is pitching tonight?
Who we got tonight? Springer.
Springs. Yeah. So they don't have the greatest starting rotation.
Okay.
Springs has had some. I think I saw one of his wins here against San Diego. So
oh, really?
He's had his moments, but the Dodgers are just.
I know it's not fair, right?
I guess they're good for baseball, but not a big Dodger guy.
Yeah, I wonder why not. I wonder why not. You're a Padres guy.
My mom was a huge Dodger fan.
Really?
So I hope she forgives me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
she
right.
was a Dodger fan because she told me way back when the only time baseball was on TV was the World Series, and she said it was always the Yankees or the Dodgers. I didn't want to root for the Yankees, so I rooted for the Dodgers.
Okay. All right. But you could never.
When I was a kid, I didn't really dislike them that much, but I do now.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad was a Cardinal fan. No one in our house rooted for the Giants. It was the weirdest thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Right. Go to school and talk about, I don't like the Giants. It was like, what's wrong with you?
It's in our backyard, right? There are.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got that going on. Also tomorrow about this time, the NFL schedule will come out. Isn't it interesting, Drapes? It is to me that we're getting updates and leaks on this big game, and this is the opener, and here's some Monday night games and Sunday night games, and we haven't heard anything about the 49ers. So they're not playing in as many of these big marquee games
so far.
That's what happens when you go 6-11.
Right. I mean, and I'm not going to take the bait and diss the Niners. They could easily be back, though. Like they could easily be back. Injuries and everything. They got a soft schedule this season, but you would think they're one of the league's premier brands.
You'd think, but it looks like the marquee teams right now in the NFC are, I forget what your team is, but
just call it Super Bowl champs.
Packers.
Champs.
The Commanders.
Do the Bears even got have Bears been announced or no?
I think a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Packers. Even the Cowboys.
Yeah. Where do the Niners rank then?
It doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter.
The one ranking that matters. They're going to do well.
I know very well the one ranking that matters at the end of the season.
When we come back, we're going to look at who the Kings. Is it okay with you if we look at who the Kings could get with a 42nd pick?
Oh, my gosh.
Is that all right? I'm asking.
Dude, how long is that segment going to last? 15 seconds? 30 seconds?
I don't know. There's a lot to like about this game.
All right. Let's see what you got for me.
All right. That's next year with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration.
Thunder.
The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with curb appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Donovan Mitchell started, is playing, and is playing well for the Cavs. 6:46 left in the first half. Cavs are leading the Pacers 46-31, so a ways to go there, but it looks like the Cavs are serious about extending this thing. Then tonight, we got Drapes Denver Nuggets taking on OKC. I really like Aaron Gordon. The more I watch them play,
No, he's
really
a good player. Like he's even better now than their championship year, I feel like. More impactful.
Yeah.
He's really
It's almost
good.
like Michael Porter dealing with a sore shoulder, whatever, and Aaron Gordon's like, it's all right, I got
That's
it.
all right. Whatever you need, I'll pick up. Yeah.
Remember him and I Zach LaVine in the dunk contest?
Yeah, and some
Ooh.
people say he got robbed.
Oh,
he hasn't won one.
incredible.
Autumn, he finished second 2 or 3 times. He feels like he got robbed. But yeah, those were huge. Good. And here's the thing. Aaron Gordon's that kind of guy now that every team is looking for. Who's the, we need an Aaron Gordon type on our team. Those guys don't grow on trees. He reminds me a little bit about like Andre Iguodala. Said it last week, just a former star player, former all-star who settles on a championship level team and is really valuable, a different role for him.
Yeah. And Jason Tatum news, of course, came out today. And it came out after he'd already had the surgery to repair his torn Achilles. So Drape, so you don't somebody in the Ringer, I think, said, might have been Michael Peanut, this is the end of the Jason Tatum Celtics era. Not him, but just this team. You don't necessarily buy that, huh?
I mean, I think some of the, ancillary parts, the Drew Holidays of the world, the Porzingises of the world. I think the two Jays, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, I don't think they ripped that apart. It'll be interesting to see how Tatum comes back because, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, all NBA caliber player, a bright star who still has, 5 to 10 years of high level basketball.
This is the piece, and this is by Michael Peanut.
Okay, what do you
This
say?
is the end of the Celtics as we know them.
Ooh.
He wrote. And he wrote that today, I think, before we even knew, but I think we knew before we knew.
Yeah. And I also wonder, too, Whitey, and I didn't get the chance to read the story, but is this also the end of the shoot as many threes as possible era for Boston? Have they been exposed to an extent? Because mentioned it last night, 18 threes. Most of those came in the first half. I think it was 12 in the first half. When you're making them, it's great. When you're not, you lose. We saw it last night. We saw it in games 1 and 2 also. And so I wonder if this era of just chuck up as many threes, 50 or more threes, is that proven to be the wrong message, the wrong way to go? And teams may have to pull back on that.
It's tough to answer definitively because it looks like now they're probably not going to win a championship. They still could.
Right.
What if they did? That would be like, yes, that's back to back.
Yeah.
And clearly that works.
That's the way to go.
What if they had beaten, and I know they didn't shoot as many then, but if they'd beaten the Warriors in 2022,
Right.
which they could have. So I don't know. It's just been a hard team to figure. Obviously, they've been excellent, and I know it's unfair to expect too much when he's torn his Achilles, but ultimately, I think the Tatum era Celtics, the Celtics as we know them, to the Ringer's point, I think they've been a little underwhelming.
Really?
As good as they've been, because it seems like they should have done more. That's how I feel. That team should have gotten more done.
I think because of this injury, and if they don't advance and don't play for a championship, yes. But they were on track. If Tatum doesn't get hurt, who knows? Maybe they win last night. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But they're still considered the title favorites. If they go on to win a championship, it's like 2 titles. That's pretty good. But now, robbed of that probably because of this Tatum injury.
Yeah, even the whole thing with the Heat, losing 3 and then coming back and then losing the 7th game. Even that, it's like, that's the Celtics for you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And mind you, Tatum got hurt in that game, first play. And so it's one of those things. And to your point, even the KG Celtics era with Paul Pierce, some say that was sort of they underachieved, underwhelming. They win it in 08. Garnett gets hurt in 2009. They go back in 2010, lose to the Lakers in 7. It's like you got the one, but you probably should have had another one at least.
I wonder if some of that is just because of the brand Celtics. We expect more because the Celtics are supposed to win all the time.
I don't know if we expect more. They tell us they expect more. They expect more. It's like
you would know.
Yeah, for the longest, their motto was Banner 18, the chase for banner number 8. Now, mind you, it took them 14 years to get to that point to banner, but they expect excellence every year out there, man. It's crazy.
Now, speaking of the Celtics, I know you know Scal, and we have had Scal on the show. Scal was one of the first guys to realize how good Cooper Flagg is, right?
Yes, Scal.
Like when he was 13 or something, he saw him.
Yeah, he said he used to work out with Cooper Flagg, work him out and everything.
Yeah.
And he said, this is going to be the guy. And so we got to get Scal on to talk about that at some point.
Because was it with college players or something? It's a pickup game, I think, a real high-level pickup game. And so he had 13-year-old Cooper Flagg come out, and he said the guys couldn't believe how he was dominating. And then I guess it was after that he started calling scouts and letting people know. But he was like
this is the guy. Yeah. No, it's Scal is one of the early guys on the Cooper Flagg train. Which is, it is what it is, right? Yeah.
Really good defender.
Yeah, better. And he got some size,
Yes.
I was listening to Sirius XM radio today, and they were talking about just, how big he is, Cooper Flagg is. He's more of a 4 than a 3, people are saying, which is, I thought he was more of a wing 3 guy. but they say he's more of a 4 out there.
Yeah, well, the lines have obviously been blurred.
Right.
Yeah, in this era of positionless basketball. So the Kings don't have a shot at Cooper Flagg, but they do have the 42nd pick.
All right, who you got for me here?
Now, they could still somehow trade back into the first round, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
They could do that.
Yeah. So
You got somebody that they're
two
targeting
names for you.
Okay.
Yeah, with 42, just been looking at a few mocks. Now, one mock I had a name who this second mock has going right before the Kings. So, according to Bleacher Report, with the 41st pick, the Warriors have the 41st pick. With the 41st pick, the Warriors take a guy who, like I said, another mock has the Kings getting Chaz Lanier from Tennessee, shooting 6'4" shooting guard. Pro comparison, Seth Curry and Alec Burks.
Ooh, and that's to the Warriors?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mentioned him because he would be available around the time the Kings are picking. Chaz Lanier struggled to connect against Houston's smothering defense, but buried 10 threes in Tennessee's first 2 NCAA tournament wins.
Okay.
Another 6'4" shooting guard. I mean, I wish him all the best, but if I'm the Kings right now,
You don't need that.
Is that really one of my priorities? Best player available and all that, but really?
But especially second round?
Yeah. I want a little length, don't
yeah,
I?
You need some length.
I want this guy.
Who you got?
From Nevada, 6'9", 207. Kobe Sanders.
Kobe Sanders.
Pro comparisons. Sometimes he's wrong, so don't leap to conclusions. Kyle Kuzma.
Wow.
The Kings have been after Kyle Kuzma forever. Maybe now they get a guy who's just very much like Kyle Kuzma. Could be.
What's the name of this guy?
Kobe, K-O-B-E, Kobe Sanders.
I'm
according
on
to Bleacher Report.
NBADraft.net.
Uh-huh.
And they don't even have him listed.
They don't have him?
Kobe Sanders.
Yeah.
Maybe a sleeper.
Diamond in the rough.
Yeah,
Sleeper.
Kobe Sanders.
Kobe Sanders was an easy standout at the Portsmouth Invitational. Now an invite to Chicago for elite camp seems likely. Sounds like maybe he didn't get that invite.
Right. He didn't get yeah.
6'9", 3-level shot maker who averaged 4.5 assists should draw attention. Drapes, he won't test well athletically. But he possesses a shoot, create, pass skill set that suggests enticing versatility. So just a couple of names to keep in mind.
Okay.
We're not close to making any
You're
official...
one of the first ones on Kobe
I'm just
Sanders.
mentioning his name.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not necessarily my guy.
He's not your guy at 42.
Not testing well athletically, and the fact that you can't even find him.
Right. He's not on this
I'm
draft
not so
board.
sure.
Kobe Sanders.
Is Chaz Lanier in there?
Chaz Lanier? Let me see if Chaz Lanier. Oh, was that the first guy you said?
Yeah, from Tennessee.
From Tennessee.
Guard.
Yeah, Chaz Lanier. They had him in this mock draft I got, NBADraft.net, going 32 to Boston.
Ooh. So who do you have the Kings getting there?
Jackson Robinson.
Ooh.
6'6" senior out of Kentucky. 6'6" small forward. Shooting guard, small forward. According to them, long, wiry athlete with NBA athleticism. Late bloomer. You'll love this. Big time shooter. Among the top 3-point shooters available for this year's draft. The NBA comparison, Trey Murphy.
Sign me up.
You're all about that.
How big is he?
6'6", I believe. Yeah, 6'6".
Which means he's really what?
That's 6'6" with shoes, so probably 6'4", you think?
Yeah.
That's not the guy, Jackson.
Just need a little more length, don't we?
But he shoots. He's a shooter.
Uh-huh.
He can knock it down.
All right. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Take a quick break. We'll come back with this. Could the Kings get their number one guy the way the Knicks got theirs? Next on Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner. Oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now. It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Well, this isn't great, but I'll share it. You know, we were just talking about guys that Kings might get at 42. Maybe they'll trade up from the 916. Hearing this segment is so freaking depressing. We are screwed. No, we're just having some fun here.
Right.
Long ways to go.
I mean, when draft night comes, we'll be talking about potential second round picks.
Yeah.
Just getting an early start on it.
And I know you saw Drapes. I'm not going to read it all here, but Folsom Mike checked in with he thinks that we've banned him or something. I don't know what that's about, Mike, and we have not. Don't know anything about what you're talking about if we failed to engage in you. Yeah, Anthony's been, has been busy back there, so yeah.
Oh,
if
Anthony
we've done anything to offend you?
Yeah, that's on me. You're not banned, man.
Oh, yeah, not at all.
He tried to get through. I mean, we're busy
Sorry
over
about
here.
that, Mike. Yeah.
Not banning anybody.
Yeah, let's see who's on the phone now.
Who you got?
Probably one of our greatest callers ever, right?
Shoot. Who we got?
Drive Guys, is this JR? Hello, JR.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
How are ya?
What's going on?
You guys could just make up names like Chaz Michael from Cal.
Yep.
6'8". He's most like Michael Jordan. Whoa, we got to get him.
You're right.
Chaz
Absolutely.
Michael.
Yeah.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
I'm writing that down. How tall did you say he was, JR?
Chaz Michael, 6'9".
Okay. Sign me up.
Wingspan of 8'5".
Where did he go to school?
He went to Cal Berkeley. You never heard of him.
Okay. Chaz Michael. Yeah, I've heard it. One mock I saw had him going a little earlier than the Kings, but we'll
okay. Hey, I was going to bring up the Bay Bridge series, though, Whitey, and you got to show Drapes at least some of the trophies. Remember those? They had that one that had a little piece of the bridge in it.
Yes.
And then the other year they had something else that I think who was ever hosting it gave them they had like a big old party hat from one of those shows that they do in the city or something. But it was a big deal, Drapes, to have the freaking Bay Bridge series.
Really?
That was it was fighting rights when the Giants and A's were horrible. It was like, hey, we got to at least win this series. So that was big time.
Mm-hmm. Have you been out to the yard yet, JR? You've been out to Sutter Health for the A's.
I have been twice, 2-day games. Pretty good time. I mean, it was Cubs and I forget the second one. Who the heck did we see? The Twins. It's a great venue, and of course, this last weekend with the Yankees.
Yeah,
I had a lot of friends go to that who are Yankee fans, and they had a blast. And that looked like a pretty packed house. They said, everything's great. I will say, I parked across.
Yeah.
Over by Arco. Remember, that was the night they were doing the double-double. The Kings were playing that night.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the Mets then? Was it? It's amazing
Mets,
you can't. You can't remember who you saw. You must have had a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, they lost. Both teams lost. I want my money back.
Oh yeah, that was a rough night. That was a rough night.
It was a rough night, but parked across over by the library thing, and it was like it was a deal.
Wow.
Walked across the bridge, walked right in. Great seats, third base side. That was a good venue, and a good outing. We'll see how life is when it hits 110 degrees here in July.
Right. Grab a lemonade, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Grab a little lemonade, some of those hard pretzels they serve.
There you go.
Yeah, see?
All right, guys.
Thanks,
See
JR.
ya.
All
right, JR,
appreciate
man.
it. By the way, he's talking about the Bay Bridge Trophy. You know Brody Brazil? Because he used to. Brody Brazil was on with Jay and I one time, and I think is when you might have been traveling with the team. And he is the one that came up with the idea for making a trophy for the Bay Bridge series out of a piece of the Bay Bridge.
Oh, really?
And he told us how he had to go down and find some of the metal, and it was really expensive, hauling this metal out of there. And then they forged this trophy out of it.
They actually did.
Yeah,
really?
it was his idea.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know that anyone really, it was a great idea. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know that anybody really cared.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, that's a good idea though. To battle for it. We got another call?
Yes, we do.
Uh-oh.
Ashley with us on Sacktown Sports. Hello, Ashley. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You?
Good.
Doing
What's
fine.
up?
What's
what,
up?
What can we do for you?
So I just wanted to talk real quick and acquisition this offseason. I think that would be really good for the Kings. And I think it's a kind of under the radar name too.
All right.
I think DeJounte Murray would fit really well with us. He'd add a little bit extra defense. He's not necessarily what he once was in that sense, but he's still a solid defender. And then besides that, we have the playmaking aspect that he adds, which is about 6 to 7 assists a game. And that would also be very beneficial for us. And then he also is a good, third or fourth scorer for a team, which he could certainly fill that role for us as well.
All right. Thank you.
Ashley, yeah.
I know that there was Drapes and I were doing, not last season, but the season before, we were out at the arena doing a game, I think, or doing our show before a game.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about DeJounte Murray. We loved him.
Yes.
Remember we both said he's great. And I think they played against the Kings that night. He wasn't that good. But
yeah.
Ashley, Drapes and I both have been on record as saying we love DeJounte Murray.
Right. But not as much anymore. He suffered a torn Achilles as well.
And he makes a lot of money.
And he makes a lot of money. And he's been traded from, San Antonio to Atlanta to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then he hurts his Achilles, tears his Achilles. I think that ship has sailed, to be honest with you.
I'm not sure he's DeJounte Murray anymore.
Right. And I know Doug loves him, Seattle guy, tough, hard nose, but I think there are better options for us out there. And he's not a shooter, Whitey. He's not a 3-point shooter.
Who do you, not to.
I don't know, but I think I already went on record and said, Dennis Schroeder, I'd take a look at Colin Sexton, maybe to try to get a Colin Sexton off of Utah. And who knows what they're going to do. So I think there's some other options out there for us.
I know that it's true. The Kings could use a point guard. To me, that's a little overstated because to me, when you say they need a point guard, it implies that everything's fine except that.
Yeah.
And to me, I think the need for perimeter size and shooting is greater, and a point guard can fit into that because if he can, defend and shoot from the perimeter, great. But to me, they just need a point guard. I don't think that's exactly their biggest issue. It's an issue, but I don't think it's the biggest issue.
I honestly think, and I hear you, and I agree with you for a bit because I think their issue is they just need talent upgrades.
Yeah,
no matter the position. If you get a center. I don't know who would be out there. Or if you get a shooting guard, if you can get Devin Booker, sign me. We just need to elevate our talent. Well, I think part of our problem is our ceiling is really low compared to the other contenders.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah. It's like we got some good players, but how high can they really take us? How far can they take us? So I think it's not just to your point, we need a point guard, and all of a sudden that magically is going to make us a contender. Oh, we need to upgrade our talent.
I think it was Bobby Marks when he did the review of all the teams and their offseason needs. He pointed out that to be competitive in the league, you need, especially with the salary restraints now, you need 7 or 8 really good players if you're going to have a chance to compete.
7 or 8.
Yeah. The Kings don't necessarily have that. They have
how many we have? 6? Are you saying 6 or no?
I'd have to, they have about that. And they have a couple other guys that maybe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like Devin Carter. Can you say that he's a really consistent, good player?
No, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Even Keon he's really close. But again, if you're talking about being a competitive team, that's what you have to have.
Right.
So I think you're right. It takes a talent upgrade rather than bringing a point guard, plug him in, and boom, you're on your way.
Right. Yeah. And, I look at the champions of yesteryear that have come recently here. Boston, their talent ceiling is high, but so is their floor. Their bottom players are really good. Their role players are really good. Denver, when they were winning the championship, same thing. Golden State. We need to just elevate. So whatever can be done, Scott Perry, to do that, I think you got to look at it.
Yeah, that reminds me of how I feel when I'm watching Minnesota play the Warriors, because I feel like Minnesota could be at their floor and they're still better than the Warriors without Steph.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they go to their ceiling,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
we're,
Night. Yeah.
Do we have anybody that can get to the levels of an Anthony Edwards? Like at Anthony Edwards' best.
No. Levine's probably the closest to
Yeah,
that.
he can get hot.
And
Yeah,
it's
he
not
can-
so much a slight of those guys. It's just he's so special.
Good. He's so
Yeah.
special. And so when we're talking about, Kawhi at his best, SGA at his, we can't get to that level. And that's
Right.
part of our problem.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think there's a way for the Kings to get their guy the way the Knicks got theirs? Because Scott Perry was involved in this in July of 2022. Remember, Brunson was a pretty good player with Dallas.
Yeah, he was good.
But the Knicks gave him 104/4, and a lot of people said, they're giving him way too much money.
Yeah.
But look how it's turned out.
Who's out there?
I don't know the specifics, but it is another avenue, perhaps, if you can find that guy who he's a little undervalued.
Yeah, and you also, and here's the reason why, everybody know I'm a Zach LaVine guy, a big-time Zach LaVine fan. But when you look at Brunson and when the Knicks got him, they got him when he was 25. Zach LaVine's 30 now. So who's that 24, 25-year-old who's playing behind somebody or playing, is in somebody's shadow that if we give him the ball, make a deal for him, he can blossom? Who's that guy?
Give me Nesmith, give me Nembhard, a bunch of those.
Your boy
Pacers
Nembhard.
guys.
Your boy Nembhard. Yeah.
By the way, the Knicks were punished for engaging in conversations with Brunson before the free agency window opened. They got to sign him, but I assume that had to do with the fact that didn't they hire his dad?
Yeah, his dad. Yeah, and elevated his dad and everything like
and then
that.
the next, oh yeah, he's coming here.
I might have to do that exercise for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna come in with somebody. Who's that next guy nobody's talking about that we can get and elevate?
Yeah, I know Alan, and I listen to Alan's show every day. And one of the things they're doing is they're coming up with trade targets every day. And, it's fun, and I listen to it. But when they talk about a guy like, say, Trae Young, to me, it's like, nah, that's not what they need. Not the established older star. They need that guy that's better than anybody else realizes he is.
Yeah, an SGA.
Yes.
That's what happened with him. He took off. Who's that next young guy
You're gonna find him for us, right?
I'll find him for you. That's my homework assignment.
All right. And then when we come back, Kings and a culture of accountability. Was that an issue? What's with that? Next on Sacktown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Matched De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
If you love golf but don't want to play the same 18 holes over and over, at Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, you get 27 holes of variety, so every round feels fresh. And with a Premier Club membership, you'll enjoy unlimited golf with a cart, unlimited range use, exclusive discounts, and 2 complimentary guest passes to share the experience. With pristine conditions, a scenic layout, and an award-winning reputation, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is Sacramento's #1 rated golf destination. Stop waiting. Become a Premier Club member today at timbercreekgc.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment.
Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes the Pizza Lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley. With special guest Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Drapes, how's my Pacers doing? I know it's halftime. They came back in this thing.
Yeah, they rallied back. Tyrese and company down by 4, 56-52 at the half. Halliburton, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in that first half for the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell with 16, Mobley with 14.
Did you see the crew they have tonight for Inside the NBA?
No.
I think it's Dwight Howard, Ernie, and I think it's Jalen Rose and Charles. Yeah.
Really?
I really like Jalen Rose.
No, he's good. I like Jalen Rose also.
Yeah. I did an interview with him once, and it was a thing where he was promoting, I don't know what, but it was he was very attentive. He gave us more than he needed to. I've always appreciated that.
Really?
And I used to
He was
love
engaged.
watching
He
him
was
play.
there.
He was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's a really good broadcaster.
Yeah. I'm with you. I like Jalen also. And Dwight Howard, going into the Hall of Fame this year. I haven't seen him as a broadcaster. I wonder how he's doing out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. We were just talking about some names for the Kings, not the obvious names where there's a good player that's available, but guys that maybe are better than their current teams realize.
Right.
Kind of the money ball, like guys that are undervalued. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was a classic example of that once upon a long time ago. Yeah. So somebody here, in fact, not just anybody, Spencer Lampkins says maybe Kuminga falling out of favor with Kerr. Michael Nicolason, how about Amen Thompson? He carried the Rockets in that series. Yeah, but Michael, the problem, well, not a problem, but they know how good he is.
Right. They're not
the
letting
Rockets
him go.
know how good Amen Thompson is.
They're not letting him go.
Yeah. As for Kuminga,
He's probably the most untradeable one on that roster, I would imagine. Right?
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's really good.
Kuminga could be available, but I don't know if you'd be able to spend enough to. He's going to be restricted for you.
Restricted. And you're not a Kuminga guy either, are you?
He's very talented, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it kind of depends. What are we doing? Not the way they were playing. It maybe if you're going to change the way you play, maybe because he's young.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the list. I'll have somebody. I'm going to have a D list tomorrow.
All right.
I don't know if Anthony on the boards tomorrow, but we got a D list. Top 5 under the radar potential superstars for Sacramento.
I think Jay's back tomorrow.
Is he?
Yeah, it's either that or Ramsey. It's not me.
Oh, it's not you? All right. One and done, huh, big fella?
I guess so. Talk to Jose about
Okay.
that.
I'll tell you what. If you beat Drapes today in the quiz, maybe we'll see about tomorrow.
Ooh,
you gonna do the quiz, Anthony?
Last time I was on the quiz, I said Jackie Robinson batted .230. So I don't know. I'll give it my best shot.
I got the
All
win
right
tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Yellow Vision Richardson. Drapes, you're not eating today.
I did eat. I had my acai bowl.
Yeah. How
over
was it?
like an hour. It was really good. It was perfect too, because I had a big breakfast. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I posted my breakfast today. It was a prime rib skillet.
I don't know if I follow you, but I think I follow Sports Nerd.
Exactly. You follow him. But check it out. I got my prime rib skillet from Sammy's, so I wanted a little lighter lunch.
Sure.
I didn't want a heavier lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, he definitely
I'm always
did.
eating, big
He
fella.
definitely did.
I did not get a snack today either. You know, I didn't go get the Cheez-Its or the fruit snacks or anything.
Okay.
Trail mix.
Acai. That's great stuff.
Acai. Yes.
Yeah. I have a question for you. I don't know if there's anything here, but this is something I noticed when Scott Perry did his initial address, and I think he may have doubled down on it when he introduced Doug Christie as the head coach. Nothing wrong with it at all, but he talked about a culture of accountability. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
We're going to
Yeah.
have here a culture of accountability. And I thought, okay, that's great. But then I wondered, because I thought he mentioned it a couple of times, if I remember correctly. Was that an issue here? I mean, every coach and general manager wants to have that. The way he said it, it kind of made me wonder, wait, was there not that here before? What did you make of that? Why would he emphasize that?
No, because I think Mike Brown talked about it too, right? Now, it's two different ways you could look at it. It's on the court among each other or organizationally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's I do think that was an issue.
Interesting.
Not even just this past, like ever since I've been here, that's kind of been an issue, to be honest with you, if I'm keeping it real with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I think today's NBA, man, it's so difficult. And we talked about it earlier when they fired Mike Brown. When you look at what Miami did with Eric Spoelstra, and he had the butting of heads with LeBron James, Pat Riley said, this is how we do it. Spoelstra's our guy. Mike Brown didn't have that backing here in Sacramento.
Pop always had that.
Pop had that, you know, and so I think, you know, whether it's Scott Perry, whether it's the top at Vivek, somebody has to say, no, this is who we are. This is how we do things. I don't care if you're the star player, the 15th player, whatever. This is what we need from you.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they don't do it, you have to hold them accountable. I don't think we've always done that here in Sacramento.
As you're talking about that, I'm reminded of one of the worst examples of that I can ever remember. And it was when Vlade was a GM and DeMarcus Cousins was here and George Karl was the coach. And it was just not a good fit for anybody. So maybe it just wouldn't have worked. But apparently they lost to the Spurs and they brought like Drake into the locker room, which was like odd because it was not, you know, people weren't in a good mood. Anyway, it's like kind of an odd time to bring Drake in. But Cousins went after Coach Karl, just screaming at him and cursing him out, which, of course, was an issue. Then, as it was reported, and as I remember, Vlade went in front of the team. Karl was out of the room and said, guys, we don't know what to do with George. So it's like, okay, well, you're whether he should or not, your coach now has zero credibility.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You just totally undermined your coach.
Yeah.
And from there, it was a disaster. And maybe it would have been anyway, but that's kind of the opposite.
You got it. Yeah. That's you got to have that though. Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, and hopefully Scott Perry is that voice, that person. I've shared this story many times. You know, I was up there in interviewed for the Oklahoma City job.
I hear you did really well in that interview.
I did crush that interview. Got offered the job. Turned him down, though. This was the Oklahoma City play-by-play job. Well, one thing I gathered from talking to people, interviewing, doing all sorts of things is there's one person in charge there, Sam Presti.
Yeah.
Even through the G League team, like every message that came out, it was Sam Presti approved, meaning it was the kind of language he would use, the kind of tone, like he ran things. So he set the culture there in OKC. Can Scott Perry do something similar? So, and you know, Mike Brown talked about it when he got introduced. It's from the top on down. Like we saw it in OKC. I saw it firsthand in OKC. It was like they were all under Scott Perry. I mean, Sam Presti. Can Scott Perry be that guy for us? Will he be enabled to be that guy too?
You know, that's why a lot of people was so concerned about the fact that you brought in the coach and then the GM.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like, well, wait a minute.
It's like, who's making the hire? Like,
yeah. How can you have that stability when you've got a coach who wasn't the GM's guy? But I know they said all the right things, Coach Christie and Scott Perry, and I bought it. I mean, I think that's a solid partnership.
You think so? Those
I buy
Christie
that.
and
yeah,
because
it was kind of out of order, but I understand that. But I'm buying it.
Right. And here's the thing. I'm not only buying it, I'm buying what they are saying. The direction it sounds like they want to take us, the style, the identity. I think that's what we need here in Sacramento.
Quick question before we get to TC. Do you think this could really happen? A guy told me this story, and I think he said it on the radio, so I think it's okay to repeat it, but I'm not going to say his name. Broadcaster had done some backup stuff, a lot of backup stuff, and he said he was talking to a team. He'd apply to a lot of jobs, and he said the team told him, you're going to be our play-by-play guy. But they said, it's Friday, so we don't want to announce it yet. Call us Monday. So he's like so excited.
Yeah, he got the job.
Yeah. And so he calls Monday to speak to whomever, director of broadcasting, whatever. And he's told, who is that? So I don't remember the guy's name. Oh, he doesn't work here anymore. And he said the guy that was hiring him for a full-time NBA job got let go after telling him he got the job, and he didn't get the job.
He didn't get the
Did
job.
that really
after
happen?
I find that hard because usually there's somebody above or like there's multiple people, that are on board. Like it's not one person that makes that kind of decision.
The way he told me, it definitely hurt.
Really?
But I've always wondered
you gotta
about
tell
that.
me more details off air about this one.
Yeah. So he's like so excited that I'm supposed to talk so-and-so. Oh, he doesn't.
Told his parents and everything.
He doesn't work here.
Ouch. That hurts.
Do you have TC's music, Anthony? Do you know how that goes?
I know he's got music. It's not labeled on here. I have music that I think would sound
All right,
good.
this will be interesting.
I'm going to play some music. I can play the D-list bed.
It's time for, is that okay with you, or would you rather we save that?
Yeah, save that, Anthony. That's my music, big fella.
Okay.
That's
all
my
right.
music.
It's time for Check It with TC. Let's bring him on. Hello, TC. How are you?
Yes, sir. Mike check, man. What's up with my dudes?
What's up with you, man?
Whitey.
Yeah. Listen,
Hey, man.
TC, Jay is not here today, so we got Anthony on the board. So when you get
Sorry about
started,
that.
he's going to play something. It might not be your regular music. Are you okay with that? Can you roll with that?
Man, it's good. Anthony is good, bro.
All right.
go.
It's time
All
for
right.
Check It with TC. What do you got?
I gotta find.
Just play something,
There's so
Anthony.
much. There's so much going on.
Just hit a button.
I'm hitting the button.
All
All
right.
right, TC, go ahead.
Hey, look, check it out, y'all. Hey, listen, Kings fans, get ready. It's going to be fireworks. Check it out, man. Listen, I'm bought in. I'm bought in with Doug Christie, Scott Perry, Mike Woodson. We know we finna have a defensive-minded team, 3-and-D. I'm ready, dog. We got all of our draft picks. We're going to find a nice home for DeRozan to swing for a big name. Man, listen, get ready, bro. I'm all in. The Kings is all in. Hey, I'm not crying over spoiled milk, bro. I'm good. I think the NBA was rigged for Dallas. They get the boy Cooper Flag, but we not worried about what Dallas worried about because we got something special and big in Sacramento. Kings fans, get ready. That's all I got. Drapes, Whitey, Anthony.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night, bro.
He's
Good job,
fired
Anthony.
up.
That
He's
works.
fired up. Yes.
I like this better than this regular music.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Whitey. I don't know about that.
Good job,
Not
Anthony.
bad, though. Not bad, Anthony. Not
Thank
bad.
you, TC.
Thank you, guys.
Coming up, Whitey's Wayback Machine Quiz. Drapes.
I'm ready.
Against Anthony. Oh, the point spread on this one.
I know.
It's historically large. Drapes is a heavy favorite.
I'm favored by what? 19 and a half?
Yes.
And it's only 6 questions?
We'll find out if he lives up to that next on Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SackSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at sacksuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. sacksuperstore.com.
The hot weather is coming. Is your HVAC system ready for it? Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating make sure it is. Get to leesairplumbingandheating.com. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up special. And let me tell you why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is the way to go. They took care of me when our heater collapsed over the winter, and Lee's set us up with a great new HVAC system that is providing comfort, value, and quality. Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating take care of you. License number 635355.
For 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
What a matchup we have here. KD versus Anthony. Yeah.
KD versus Ant.
Yeah.
I like that.
Kyle Draper versus Anthony here. It's Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for May the 13th. Let's get going. Drapes, you feel any pressure at being such a heavy favorite in this matchup?
Not at all. This is going to be quick.
Honestly, his confidence is building my confidence. I feel like the underdog here.
Okay. I mean, you are the underdog.
I know, but I feel like I'm like the underdog that's going to win. You know, I feel like the Knicks in like 99 or whatever.
All right, okay. All right. Let's do it.
When they lost.
But they made it to the finals, man.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah. I don't know if Anthony has ever won. I think he tied Brendan once.
I tied.
And I think it was a play-in situation, so I think he earned a playoff spot, but I don't know if he's ever actually won.
He tied Brendan?
Yeah.
You know you're not going to win, right, Anthony? Like, if you get
the
one
more
right,
you say it, the more I feel like I'm going to win.
Okay, let's go.
Who was your coach in that matchup?
Oh, the guy I'm playing right now.
Oh,
remember you?
So I coached him up to a tie. Without me, he would have lost. Oh, that's great. I did a good job.
Just dogging him.
Right.
All right, here's what we have today.
What we got?
Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for May 13th, brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We have 1955, 1976, 1983, 1999, 1999 again, and 2011. Drapes, 55, 76, 83, 99, 99, 2011.
2011.
Let's get started. Good luck. It's multiple choice.
All right.
What Oakland A's player is caught attempting to steal home in a 4-3 loss to the White Sox? This date, 2011. Coco Crisp, UNS Cespedes, Josh Reddick. Caught stealing home in a 1-run loss to the Pale Hose. This date, 2011.
Caught stealing home, you said?
Yeah, he was caught stealing home. They lost by a run.
Cespedes.
Yoenis Cespedes is not correct.
Oh.
The underdog, Anthony, with a chance to steal.
All right, the other two options?
Are
He got a 50-50 chance.
Coco Crisp and Josh Reddick.
How about Josh Reddick?
Josh Reddick is not correct.
Oh, my God. Anthony. I gave you one, big fella. I tried to give you a lead.
Is that what that was?
The belly
I don't
Coco
believe you.
Chris. Yes. No
0-0.
harm, no
We're
foul,
still tied.
no blood. You dodged one there, Drapes.
I know.
Yeah.
I was nervous
I'm
about that
standing
one.
for this.
Over to Anthony.
Standing up. Okay.
55, 76, 83, 99, or 99 again.
99, the second one.
All right.
All right.
It's the closest to Anthony.
All right.
You want to go first, or do you want him to go first?
He can go first.
All right,
I'm
Drapes.
going first? Okay.
This day, 1999, the Spurs beat Minnesota. Speaking of 99 in the Spurs. Spurs beat Minnesota to start a record NBA playoff winning streak of how many games? It was the first of how many consecutive wins for them, a record NBA playoff winning streak at that time. Spurs beat Minnesota, first of how many straight playoff wins for them? 1999.
1999 Spurs.
0-0. We're just getting started.
I think that would
Drapes is a
be
heavy favorite.
Spurs.
How many consecutive wins in the playoffs that year? Streak started on this date.
For that year?
I'm
Or
gonna
like,
say-
did they have like a long
Oh, is
streak
that
throughout different
multiple
seasons?
years? Like that's that single year, right?
I'm not sure that. It starts, I believe it's just that year. But I'm not actually entirely clear on that.
13.
13? What do you say?
12.
12 is exactly right.
Let's go.
Anthony's on top.
What
here.
up?
What is going
Anthony
on?
is leading.
I quit.
Stop the count.
I quit.
Stop the count.
I quit. No mas. No mas.
Anthony has the lead.
That was so close.
Yeah, over to you.
If I would have said 12, he would have won 11. Dang.
You just
Or
said
I would have got it right.
Yeah, you would have got it right. Yeah.
That was close.
So Drapes, you're up.
I'm up.
1955, 1976.
99, Whitey.
1999. Multiple choice for you.
Come on. I can't get the closest two. All right.
This date, 1999. Who came up with an NBA playoff record 10 steals in a game? Gary Payton, Allen Iverson, Jason Kidd. This date, 1999. Who came up with an NBA playoff record 10 steals in a game? Gary Payton, Allen Iverson, Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd is not correct.
What? Oh,
Jason Kidd is
Okay.
not
I'm struggling,
correct.
guys.
I feel like Gary Payton is too obvious. And I'm going to be really sad. If that's the answer, I'm going to go Allen Iverson.
Who came up with an NBA
It's
playoff
Allen
record,
Iverson.
10
I see
steals in a
Whitey's
game?
face.
It's Allen Iverson.
Oh, no.
AI.
2-0.
Help. Oh, my gosh.
Keep it going.
I cannot show my face around here again.
Do you believe in miracles?
This is unbelievable.
Anthony with the lead.
What is going on?
Not only would it be his first win, it would be a huge win over
Like the
one of the
number
all-time
one
greats.
seed. Yeah.
Yeah.
This Mike Tyson losing in his prime.
I'm coming out swinging.
You know, there's only 3 questions left here, and Anthony has
If he
a 2-0
gets this
lead.
one right,
He could clinch it right here. It's like triple match point. Or
look at him. He's nervous. He's
scared.
nervous back there.
I'm
He
so
is.
scared.
He's nervous.
He
I
is.
got him right where I want him.
55, 76, 83, Ant-Man.
Like, look at these years.
Yeah.
83.
1983. It's multiple choice.
Yes.
This day, 1983. Who became the first player to strike out 2,000 times in his career? Was it Willie Stargell, Dave Kingman, or Reggie Jackson? He was the first guy in his career to strike out 2,000 times.
So, last time I played this game, one of the answers was Reggie Jackson because he had a mustache. I remember that. So,
This guy,
you know,
if I lose because of this,
Hold
I
on.
don't care.
Before you answer, Anthony, I got a message here from Emran.
yeah.
If you lose to Anthony, just pack your bags and leave quietly.
No, he did not send that.
He did. Yeah.
I believe that. That is something Imran would say. That is
okay.
absolutely
I
something
think I
Imran would
will.
say.
I think I agree, Imran. If I lose to Anthony, I'm done.
I think we're going Mr. Mustache, you know? It's the
Reginald
only one I know.
Martinez Jackson?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh. Imran.
What is going on here?
It's a sweep for the Ant-Man. one of the most incredible, unbelievable, remarkable results in the history of the Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz. Kyle Draper, can we get a quick word with you? Drapes, you have anything to say? What was it just not your day out there today, Drapes?
I'm packing up my bags and I'm leaving. This is the most embarrassing moment of my professional career. Like, seriously, Anthony, who has never won?
The rim looked like the ocean.
Unbelievable.
It was amazing.
You lost to him because he went with an answer because the last time he played, he got a mustache.
I went with the mustache guy. That's my luck, man. That is Kyle's luck right there. That's all about my life right there. Anthony. Congrats, Anthony. I'm not going to be a sore
I appreciate
loser,
it.
Congrats.
That was a good matchup.
I see how it is, Whitey. You rigged this somehow. It's like the NBA draft lottery out here.
I did not.
Got a frozen envelope or something out here. I see how it is.
How does it feel, Ant?
Feels great. I'm shaking in here.
I know this dude.
Look how happy
the
you've made him.
mustache guy.
Yeah. Speaking of tanking, already the speculation has begun. Did Drapes tank that game?
A little bit. Let me just say, I just saw guys in this Indiana-Cleveland game, Donovan Mitchell go back to the locker room limping, looks like that ankle again.
Oh, my
bothering
goodness.
him. And they're down by 5.
Wow, the Pacers with the lead trying to close this thing out. All right, thank you, Anthony.
Good job,
very much.
Anthony.
We appreciate it. Thanks, Drapes.
All right, man.
Yeah. We're back with you tomorrow. Stick around. We got Infinity Sports Radio. As far as I know.
We have the UC Davis show.
They have the UC Davis show, the Ag Mag. Yes. My mistake. Don't miss it next on Sacktown Sports.